Case had on ASICs in school and shit. That nigga had ASICs on and shit.
That's what
Hey, welcome to the Kickback Podcast, man. Jarard J. My brother Case, we here.
Yeah.
Special guest Travis Cherry. Now, we got to talk about Travis today because what people are not going to know is Travis produced the last, 3 albums of yours.
It feels like it sometimes.
Yeah.
It's been 3,
What do you mean
right?
it feels like it sometimes?
It feels like
He
it.
said like my shit is a chore.
No, but this is why this is dope because, we have producer conversations a lot. You know what I'm saying?
we do.
We've had some producers in here, and the cool thing about it is people get all kind of new information about what that's about. You know what I'm saying? Because they hear the product, they see you on stage, but they don't know where it came from.
So tonight, this is the diary of Case.
There it is.
Yeah, man. We've been in there going through it.
And that's what we want. Tonight we want some juice. You understand?
And
what
we
I'm
about
saying?
to go
You
through
think
it,
you know?
nigga. Oh,
We want some in studio
No
juice
idea.
this evening. Welcome to the show. But don't forget, every single Wednesday, this is where we are. The show is continuing to grow, and that's because of you, and we appreciate that. We sit here and talk about all kind of different things. You never know what's going to happen on a Wednesday right here on the Kickback Podcast. I have a feeling that tonight is going to be epic because you're going to find out some information about that guy right there that some of us probably don't know because we're talking about a relationship that's 3 albums deep now. And if you don't know,
Oh, that's how many years?
It's been some years.
It's been some years, too.
It's been some years. Yeah.
so you got some Case stories.
Yeah, he know all my secrets.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of stuff.
Keep in mind, I said secrets, nigga.
Secrets.
Okay, yeah.
Why you feel like you just threatened him right now?
It wasn't a threat. I was just
You
reminding
kind of threatened him a little bit. I mean, like,
It was a stern
yeah.
reminder.
Travis,
Yeah.
let's just go right into it, man. How has it been working with this guy, this personality,
That's
this
fucked up.
Mr.
This is a setup.
This Mr. Man over here.
Look, I feel like anyone of the signs. I'm like,
And don't be afraid. He's not gonna hit you. Let's
Well, Mike,
he's
not.
a beater.
He's
a beater.
He beats on you.
That's what
He's a
she
beater.
said.
So I can say this. I've been in the studio a few times with these guys, and it's never a dull moment. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's good stories coming out, whether it is Case wanting to redo a piece 80,000
here we
times,
go.
whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But these are 2 perfectionists, and so it works out when they're making music. But how has it been for you, psychologically speaking, dealing with this guy in the
Why you
studio?
had to say, you know what?
Because people want to hear it. That's what people
Nah,
want to hear.
it's cool. I mean, we actually have fun, so there's no pressure.
Yeah.
And like he listens, and I like tweaking his voice and stuff like that, making certain little techniques and stuff like that people wouldn't
Nobody
expect.
listening.
You
That I
start
don't
getting-
like.
He hates it.
Yeah.
But you get to hear more of him. I'm like, it's more prepping him for the second half of his career. So yeah, it's fun.
Talk about his range. And the reason why I bring that up is because we are in an era right now where a lot of people that are making music, I'm just going to say it, don't have an immense amount of talent, especially singers, right?
Yeah.
We have computers now that give people talent. You understand what I'm
push the
saying?
talent button.
Yeah, there it is.
You
push the talent. You flip the little plastic piece
push
up.
the talent button.
push
You're
it
like,
down,
oh, you
know
can't
what I'm
hit that
saying?
note. Now you can.
The Autobot button, I call it. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the things that he's always been known for is he has a very distinct voice. He always has, which I think, and as my brother, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like that's one of the reasons why you have timeless music is because when you sing, you know instantly who it is. Right, and there's very few singers that you had Luther. You know exactly who that is. First,
wait,
Michael,
Big Luther, or Little Luther?
both of them.
Okay,
both of them.
both
You knew
of
who
them.
it
Both
was.
of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay, both of
There
them?
are certain singers
We're
where
not talking about Dance with My Father Luther.
we're talking about him too. Like
We're not
it's
talking
just,
about I'd rather
Nigga
Luther.
dance with his father, nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we
I
ain't
mean,
talking about that Luther.
we talking about that one.
Give me, we talking about Stop the Love.
Yeah,
I need a house and not a home.
You talking about S curl?
I need
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
But there are a few.
Lufa.
But there are a few, not all. There are a few singers where like the first couple of notes, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
Even when you have like a song with multiple singers on, like when y'all did the Best Man joint, right? You knew exactly who that was without looking at the TV. You know what I'm saying? So talk about his range as you are having to always extract the sounds out of him that the record needs. Talk about his abilities to be able to go different places vocally.
I think with Case, it's how can I say it? The difference in working with him versus other artists that I've worked with.
Like
or
who?
other artists
Nah, I'm
I've
fucking
worked
with
with.
you. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
I approach it from a different angle with
Okay.
him, with his voice, because it's like you're not really dealing with somebody who's in their head and worried about their last hit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's not stuck on his last hit because he's had so many.
Right.
So it's like you have so much, you have a range of stuff to pick from. So it's a range of places that I can see where his voice can go.
He's not focused on outdoing himself.
Like he's not thinking about like, oh my God, SZA put this record out, so we got to make a record that sounds like this. It's like it's easier to be there, and we're not chasing a sound. We're just chasing the next thing for him.
Okay, we're chasing the feeling.
Okay, so it's easier when you got somebody that's not in their head thinking about the outside noise, because we can create something that's dope. Now we might go back and forth, and I'll be like, no, that's the take, and he might be like, no, I can do better.
Right,
but. You know what I'm saying? It's just easier. It's easier to work with.
But that's the beauty of being an artist. You know what I mean? You're gonna be.
Yeah, but it's in this day and age that we're in. The artists, man, they be so worried about what somebody else is doing, and they get pressured by what young people are doing. So you get older artists that are trying to be on playlists, and they worried about what somebody's doing. Like there's. Can I say it? This is an open space. It's an open space.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, would I have recorded that Isley Brothers song? With Rick Ross.
I didn't think that was gonna come out.
That they ever won.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I can have my dog back, leave him alone. You like 89. Let your dog rest. Like let him.
Yeah,
rest.
the dog. Yeah,
let's not bring him back. Let's not bring him. Your homeboy is gone.
The dog got hip dysplasia.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like you 40 and you like if I can get my homeboy back. Like
the dog has what?
Hip dysplasia.
I was just checking. I was just checking.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I'm just saying.
My tense when I riding in it. No,
damn.
But I learned like it's like working with him is the same as like when I was I learned like when I was in with Uncle Charlie, and at the time that I was in with Uncle Charlie, which is around the time that we had met, we were going through records, and it was some stuff that he had just recorded, like T-Pain and some other people, and Charlie was going through it, and he was like, "Yo, I don't want records where I'm gonna be all out of breath, and I'm trying to do like these young dudes and be like, I don't want to." And he was like, "Yo, give me these timeless records." So I still have that approach with him. Like it's like we can make timeless records. Like
you got to be you.
Yeah, if you be you, you're gonna do what you need to do, and that's where people forget. Like it's sad to see some of these older artists still trying to be something that they're not. Like LL ain't trying to go do a record with the Migos. He's still LL.
He's
like,
LL. Yeah.
If you know who you are, you just make the music that you make.
Yeah.
Like they say, if you got the 5,000. You good. Like if you got 5,000 people that's gonna always buy your product, always come to see you, stuff like, hey, listen, you good. You can add to that. But if you worried about, a summer that you ain't gonna have no more, or you worried about, well, this person over here doing this and this person's doing this, so I should be doing this. It's like you're gonna lose.
Do you when you're making a track, right? Mm-hmm. Do you make a track with him in mind, or is the track already made and you say, you know what, no, Case will sound good on that? Like how does that move for you guys? Because
it's a mixture, because I know. In my mind, there's nothing that's too stupid until I let him hear it.
Okay.
And then my feelings get hurt because I've learned there's something that is too stupid.
Okay. This is good info, man. I told you, this is good info.
Like I had that moment when I'm like, I'm in my creative space, and I'm like, there's nothing that's too stupid. And I let him hear it, he'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
And
but
I'm like,
I never said that's too stupid.
And then I be feeling like the cartoon with the little dog with the big dog, like, no, Spike, we're about to do this. And he like, nope. And I'm like, no, we're gonna do this. He be like,
okay, in my own defense though, there's plenty of times when I'll be like, yo, I can sing that better. It's too stupid, quote unquote. He'd be like, nah, same shit. It's two sides of the same coin.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But we always get to what it's supposed to be though.
Yeah, and see that, and that's where I was gonna go. As
we
the
always
artist,
get where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and as the artist, sir, it's been a minute since you've been recording with Travis. How long did it take for you to get comfortable with him and trust his judgment of sound? Because that takes time with some people.
Nah, it didn't take long because
he doesn't trust.
Well, you being a piece of shit right now? Okay, cool. Well, what happened was the first song that I did of his, I had the track and I had the song and I recorded it without him. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I left the studio, I sent it. I still have the email too, and he was like, "Yo, this is some other shit," because I added my own shit to it.
Right.
And so when me and him got in the studio together, we just clicked. And which doesn't mean that I like everything he does.
Right.
You don't like everything that I do.
Right.
But we find a way to make the shit work. You don't like everything I do. Don't lie to these fucking people.
Wow.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
She ain't never said that. She never said that.
Yes, I got it on video.
I'm gonna say it on the side of Michael's house. Huh? I'm gonna say it on the side of Michael's house.
Nah, nigga.
I'm gonna say
Let me tell you.
Of Michael's house.
Listen, man. And so what happened was, I trusted him, and he trusted me because we did it without each other, and I think that helped us when we came together.
That makes sense.
Like when we
difficult.
first started,
it was difficult. It was difficult.
That was my joint right there.
But I did that. He did the song, and I recorded it without him.
I was there when you recorded Difficult.
Remember? I know, and I sent it to him. He's like, yo, this is some other shit. So when we got together, we already had an understanding
Okay,
of
so
where
can
we
we
were going.
can we be okay? Now I'm glad you brought that up. Now we're going to tell the truth. When he recorded Difficult, I was there. I was in the studio with him recording it, and he wasn't really feeling the record.
Shit me?
No, don't lie.
No, that's a different record.
No,
nigga.
it's that record because that's the one I told you to keep the tail on. Remember, you were singing the part. You like that tail. That you taught me some. You taught me some words that day. I know what that was. But there's an ad lib in the record where he kept like this, and you called it a tail. You don't remember that?
Nah, because you're lying.
No, I'm not.
To the people.
No,
not
I'm
to
not.
me.
I was in
it's
there.
It's not you lying to me. You're lying to the people.
I was in there when you recorded it, and I said that shit was incredible. Matt, to the point where at the time when I was on V103,
but
and
you
he
can't
came
tell
in,
me that because I'm never gonna think.
I know,
that's incredible.
but that's okay. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to. I was on the air, and he came in, hung out with me. Remember for like a whole show
Yeah.
one day, and I wanted to play Difficult, and he wanted me to play Timeless, and at the time the single, which was
Shook Up.
Yes,
Shook Up.
and I was like, no,
No,
this
we
right
played
here.
all that shit
Yeah, I
that
know,
day,
but
yeah.
I did play it,
But
but
I
that's
wanted you
because
to play those first,
right, exactly,
because that was the thing. That was the company line.
But the real story is he can't tell me what to do on my radio show, so I play what I want to play.
I feel like I did though.
No, he didn't, because I still played the record, and I still told everybody in the A, this record right here is the business. He was like, yeah, it's all right. I was like, nah, dude, this record right here is out of control. And it's funny with him because there's another record. I just don't remember the name of it or what.
Oh,
but
it must have been
a-
great if you don't remember the name of it.
It was the one. Travis was
Must
there.
be awesome.
Matter of fact, this is the one when you were in there. I was in there. What's the name? JoJo was in there. And remember we were listening to the record. I was
But
like,
you don't
Case.
remember the name of it.
No, I don't remember the name
Got
of it.
you.
My memory is bad. But you know what I'm talking about.
No, it's not that. No, it's not.
You know which one it was?
But that's not the
The
record.
New
Travis
Jack
did.
sounding record.
That's not
See?
the one. Travis didn't do that record.
I didn't say he did. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, stop bringing up old shit.
The point is that you could tell this guy, yo, this right here, like you remember that day? This right here is the one. He'd be like, yeah.
Because I don't.
It's because right now
Be like,
I'm riding. We
Nah.
already, but you already know how I feel. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's 2 songs on the new album that I'm like,
Yeah, let's talk
you
about
will
the new
not
album.
Deny. I'm like, Naked.
Oh,
is,
we got
Naked
more
ain't
than
the first
2.
single.
First of all, it's more than 2.
I'm just saying,
Okay, I'm just saying.
Naked.
Yeah, let's
Naked,
be clear, nigga.
Travis,
All
I'm gonna
day
be,
long,
I'm gonna
first
be
single.
transparent.
Naked, Stay.
No, I love Stay, but I'm saying like
okay.
two songs on that new album.
Have I heard that? Probably not.
Yeah, you heard all of them.
Naked?
You heard all,
No, I haven't heard all of them.
Yeah,
You're
heard-
lying to
yeah,
the people.
I promise you.
Naked,
heard
hands down.
Haven't heard that.
Kickback, hands down.
Haven't heard that either.
Kickback.
Like, but the
Yeah.
one song on the new album that I'm like, it's my Michael Jackson moment is
Your Love Is So Good.
No, Can I Call You Miss?
Oh,
That's the
I
record.
heard that one. I did
That's
hear
the
that one.
that's
I
the
like
record
that
for
one.
me. I'm like, when
Yeah.
you hear somebody's album, you like, I wish I was there when they recorded that because I know it had to be like a special moment. That's the record.
So
for me.
do
And I'm like,
y'all? The album's now done, right?
Yeah, it's done.
Do you sit together and like listen to the whole thing front to back and like turn the lights out and just sit as a duo?
we did that.
We did that,
And
yeah.
we had
Yeah.
some people in the studio, and
I wasn't
you know,
there,
you
but
started-
that's cool. All right.
You had something to do that
Yeah,
day.
you
fine.
was,
You was real fancy.
No, you remember you had to do the thing.
He was
What
fancy.
was the
He was
thing?
fancy as fuck.
What was the thing?
Whatever it was, it was fancy.
Yeah, it's
Whatever
all
it was, it was
It's cool.
fancy.
You know,
No, it
your-
was that thing that you know.
you know
it
who
was
your
that, it
friends
was
are.
that time that you because we was like, yeah, you should come, and you was like, oh, I wish I could, and we was like, no, but you are gonna miss something.
Is that
and
what
you was like,
happened?
oh man, if I hadn't
I remember.
already
I got
agreed
the
to do the
text.
thing,
I got the group
trying to
text.
find this lightning strike that's for
You
the come
like
through.
you was like, if I hadn't already agreed to do the thing, I'd be
Y'all
there.
about to get this whole studio struck by the lightning.
That's what she
They
said.
lying.
This wooden ass table will be kindling. Let me tell you that
No,
right
but
now.
okay, so so how does that listening session go when y'all done with the project and now y'all sitting like listen to it from front to back? Because you gotta listen for arrangement, like where you gonna put songs, like how it's gonna be arranged, all that.
Honestly, because we end up recutting stuff a couple times.
Yeah.
By the time we listen to it, we pretty much know the nuances of it. There'll be
Okay.
some spots that we might be like, I think you should change, but for the most part, we've been agreed on everything. We're like, okay, we're good. You know,
That's crazy because that's
the only
rare.
person. The only person that I can say, open space again, huh? Only person that I can say,
This is a safe space.
it has to be. Only person that I can say probably, hey,
Not
hold on
to
one
play
second.
music though, and listen.
Hey,
and
my
answer
baby,
phone calls.
my
and
baby
shit.
calls. You know, as much as I
Hey,
love her,
baby.
that's Case.
This
When
nigga
the
dead
wife, when
serious.
the wife calls, I'm on the podcast. You know, I got to.
That's what's up. Where's my motherfucking money?
I'm just letting you know I made it home. My
All right.
went out, I guess. 'Cause it's
She made it home, apparently.
Okay, babe. I'm gonna call you as soon as we get down here.
yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I just want you to know I made it.
This nigga's
All right.
fired.
Love you.
This nigga's fired.
What?
So
what- okay.
I'm gonna say the only person I can say.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
apologize
We're not
for
gonna
what
unring
just
that
happened.
bell.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold up.
See,
We're not gonna unring that bell.
Let me publicly apologize
This
for what
is
just
the
happened.
WWE of podcasts. You never know what's gonna happen.
I know that you come here for content and for continuity, and you just got completely interrupted right now. So let me apologize on
This is
behalf
the
of everybody that got
WWE
anything to do with
podcast.
this show. Okay,
This nigga's
now
That's
fire.
go.
what I bring.
This nigga's
That's what I
fire.
bring. You never know.
Yeah,
No,
You
leave that
never
shit
know.
in the parking
My
lot,
mama might
nigga.
call. My mama might call and join in. You know what I'm saying?
And you were saying what now, Travis?
He don't know.
But no,
He
don't know.
He all thrown
But
off
see, no,
now.
but I was gonna say the only time, like really the only person I think is harder on Case, as far as that part of it, like when we listen down, probably JoJo, because JoJo here, he'll be like,
Okay.
I think we should recut
That's
that. or I
Case's
think-
manager, by the way, for those who don't know.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Other than that, when I sit down with Seuss, from the moment that he hears a song, Seuss is pretty much like, yeah,
Okay.
get him to cut it.
Okay.
Like, I don't really have that with Seuss. I know JoJo would be like, he should recut it. I don't know. I think he could do better. That's the only time. I
But
ever-
that's because I've been
You need that though.
making music with JoJo for 35 years. That's
Huh?
why.
But,
That's
but,
why.
but
yeah.
see, okay, so this is the crazy connection that we all
I've
have.
known JoJo since I was 18,
Bro.
and
So
that's
real?
why that's why me and him
So
are like
this is
that.
this is the
And we've been making
crazy connection
records
that we
together
all
for
have.
that long.
Like this is why I love him. So I met JoJo and his brother Jimmy in '94 because I used to sing in an R&B group, and they came to Raleigh, and I hung out with them because at the time Jimmy was traveling with Lade,
Right.
which one of the members of Lade is one of his background singers.
Okay.
Right, two of them.
You see what I'm saying?
Two of
So I'm
them,
saying like we have this crazy connection amongst all of us that it's like
Yeah.
it was gonna happen. It was destined.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, me and JoJo have been making records together. The first demo I ever recorded, JoJo was there. He was with.
So he been there the whole time. Like,
We like brothers.
Yeah, that's
like
dope.
we've been together for 35 years.
Be careful when you say that though, because I'm still that song lyric. We was like brothers all night. We was
Nah, I'm not doing that with you.
undercover. It's like whoa, whoa,
Not JoJo.
Whoa,
No, that's
whoa.
a different
That
song.
Diddy-
That's a whole different song.
That Diddy, I'm like,
No, that's a whole different song there.
Whoa. To
Ladies
all our
and gentlemen, that's a whole different song.
LGBTQ
Oh,
plus
no,
people,
no,
we
no,
love
no.
you.
Oh yeah, I
We
gotta
love
go.
yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
I mean,
I just want to make sure I put that out there because I
Yeah.
don't know. They organize really good. They fucking around me marching outside before we even get out of here.
Yeah.
They fucking around with that shit.
and they gonna have Travis Cherry
That's what I
sound.
said.
Yeah,
Them-
not
them
got nothing to do with me.
Them mother have posters.
The
and everything.
views expressed by Travis Cherry are his and his alone.
don't represent the
They
network.
do not reflect or represent anything about the Kickback Podcast.
Yeah, nigga.
Okay. All right. With that said, Case, talk about the. I need you to be ready for this too. When you go in and record records, right? A lot of the times because I know this for a fact, when you go and record a lot of records, some of the records may have indicators of personal experiences, right?
Oh, they got a whole bunch of them.
And sometimes, and sometimes it's difficult for brothers, right, to express that type of vulnerability. And for you as an artist, it could be tougher because now you have to go and you have to exasperate it all, right? So with him and being comfortable with him, talk about how much easier or not easier it is for you to be able to let that place come out while you are recording stuff.
It's easy for me because he knows what I'm going through in my life. You know what I'm saying? If for anybody that because me making music is the ultimate expression for me of what I'm going through.
Sure.
So if I can't tell him, I can't tell nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could try to hide it, but you're not gonna get the best music out of that.
Right.
And so there may be other people that I may hide it from. I may try to play tough, but I can't hide that shit from him.
Right.
Because he's the gatekeeper of my ultimate form of expression. So
Dig that.
yeah.
It's
So
dope.
I
get
have to
see
yeah.
the gambit of emotions that he'll go through, and
Sometimes if I'm going through it, I could come and we just get drunk and I'm
Vibe.
supposed to sing.
Yeah.
And I go in there and sing, he'd be like, nigga, you too drunk. But he know that I'm going through some shit.
Yeah,
And we'll come back. But yeah, I can't. That's the one person that I don't think when you're doing music that you can keep shit from because it compromises the product.
What are the three main most important roles of being a producer?
therapist, sound engineer, and really just director. Like you're directing the movie, and ultimately, I think that's what that's what makes the process easier working with him. Like I have artists that are the artists that I work with, and the process is easier because there's no pressure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're not sitting here like, okay, if we don't get it tonight, we done fucked up
Yeah,
studio
yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's like you know that everybody's kind of going through stuff, so you know you might not get them on the day when it's this, or he could be in that zone. Like Case could be in that zone and then get a phone call and be like, man, fuck.
Then they mess the whole shit away. Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Well,
it's like
there's times we did 3 songs that night.
right,
Yeah.
right. You just might
Yeah.
knock
Now I
out a
might
whole
not
bunch of
remember
stuff.
2 of them.
Right.
Right. By the
In
end,
6 months, I'd be like, when did I cut this?
Right.
Like,
it always happens.
yeah, yeah.
Always happens. Yeah. So
And those be the best songs.
Right. Right.
yeah. So you gotta know the artist and know how to pull from them. And I think that's what's lost on the music now. That's why a lot of times you get records that are just amazing. Like you look at like Bruno Mars. The people that he's around are the people he creates with.
He makes
and the
amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and you can tell that vibe is there. There's a level of trust that's
Yeah,
there. But then
yeah.
you'll hear, oh God, I hate to say it, but you'll hear Chris Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even really say Chris Brown because I mean I'm sure the people that he's around.
Well, you already kind of said it. But
Yeah, I'm
okay.
sure the people that he's around, they at the house, they smoke together and chill.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's a party vibe. But there's times you hear records and it's just like, it's just cold. You know what I'm saying? Like you can tell that there's no real connection because a lot of times people just want you to send them the track. They want to record it themselves. They have really no input from the producer. So these kids that think they're producers are just beat makers. They really weren't there at the session. And the artist just does what they want to do. And then they want to make Thriller, but you're not
Yeah.
creating a Thriller
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think, like, even though it's taking us, what? Shit.
Shit, I don't even know. Couple years.
Like 3.5 years? This album's taking like 3.5
But
years.
actually, we've been
'cause
done
me
for a
and-
long time.
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
this
that's
is
what's crazy.
super
He got
fuck
to know me because in the course of us getting started, I went through a breakup with the person I was with. And he even called me out on it. Like, at the beginning of us trying to create, he was like, yo, you was in a real dark place.
Tough place. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like I was going through it, but I was trying to push through it at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
And I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
I get it.
So then it's like we kind of both been there for each other through the whole creative process, and it came out through like the songs that we chose to record, even some of the ideas that aren't going to be on the album. It's just the emotions were there, and it made it more special. Like this album, I think it made it more special because of us having such a parallel love experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like creatively the emotions just came out more.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
This one for both of y'all, like, I want to talk about content of music, and the reason I bring this up, you brought up Chris Brown, right? And when you talk about a person like Chris Brown, in my humble opinion, Chris Brown was framed to become this generation's Michael. He
Yeah.
really was.
That was the goal.
I personally think that one of the things that deflected that from happening was the content of the music he started to make. He started to
He
be.
chose to be
honestly,
this generation's Bobby Brown.
There you go.
Yeah,
Is he
honestly,
chose to be too
well,
touchable
He
for
chose
one.
to be Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
instead
Well,
of
the
Michael
thing
Jackson.
is with him, it's the career arc.
Okay.
And Chris came at a time when there was a certain crop of the younger singers that they were pushing. And he's pretty much the only one really that survived it. Because you had like what, Mario, and then you had that other little smaller group that came right around 08, 09 that people
Yeah.
were pushing, like a Jacob Lattimore. I forgot some of those other little kids.
Kevin
names.
Ross.
Yeah, like
Kevin
it was like
Ross,
it
yeah.
was like a little small little crop of them that they were pushing that were supposed to be these young kids that were the next. And Chris was there, but Chris got forced into a lane, or really he pushed into a lane that he didn't stay consistently in.
Right.
When he could have taken the reins from somebody else who actually their career arc could have been higher. Meaning
Okay.
like so in terms of similarities, like I'm gonna jump off Chris for 1 second, but in terms of similarities, you look at Sierra. Sierra should have been our Janet. But then you look at her career arc, Sierra had a good career arc to be the next Janet, and then you do a record like a boy.
Right. Okay.
And you do those records like that and at a time when you're dating 50 and people want to embrace you for that, and then you put that out as the single after that, and it was it was gone.
so the content
you-
is a big deal in terms
Yeah,
of
so you look at again Usher.
yeah.
Usher should have been right there, but Usher had his wings clipped.
I don't know about that.
Bro, think about it. No, like think
Usher
about it.
got
Like,
so many. Let me tell you
but
something.
no, think about it. Like Usher was the sex symbol on every girl's wall. And then you show people that you're dating Tamika. Now every girl that thought you were here is
Wow.
like, I could have had him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because you had a relationship with Chili. With the relationship with Chili, that was your off the wall. Like 8701 to me is his best album.
I agree with
everything.
that.
That was his best
I
album.
agree. That
But
album was off the chain.
What people won't admit is 8701 is to Off the Wall what Confessions is to Thriller. 87, like Off the Wall, sold like 28 million worldwide. So it was easy to now build on that and make a monster album.
Yeah.
8701 sold like 6 million.
Yeah.
And you improved on that to sell 10.
And it sold like a lot in the first week. I remember that. I remember
Yeah,
when
but
that
it was
album
off the
came out.
controversy.
Yeah.
Confessions was like, oh God,
Yeah.
what happened with him in Chile?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like freaking Thriller was you went in and made this record with Quincy, and then you just knocked it completely the fuck out the park on the Motown reunion and introduced him to the moonwalk. And then you're right there at the cusp of the MTV generation. Everything was like MTV was new.
Everything lined up for that.
Yeah,
shit.
everything like the stars lined up. Because think about how big it was for us as kids that night. That they, like the whole week really when they were promoting it, like Thriller, the new video. For
Nigga, I
Thriller.
peed on myself.
Like, and then they had the
Twice.
behind
And
the
I was-
scenes.
and I was way
that they
too old
showed,
to be peeing on myself,
They
nigga.
had the behind the scenes show, and you like, oh shoot, they got all this stuff going on. And then they was like, and now the debut, Michael Jackson.
And that shit was worldwide. Remember that shit?
It was
That, it was that. We ought to work all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, y'all gonna play this shit for everybody, nigga?
Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
nigga.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's a good
it's like,
point.
so it's like Usher opened a specific lane, and Chris had a schizophrenic pathway because you walk into this lane, you were this
what?
cute kid with the dope record. You knocked Mario off because both y'all had the cute kid record. You came in with the
Yeah,
dancing.
Running was a
yeah
supernova.
and everybody was
Like,
talking about you were going to be the next
Shout
Michael.
out Sean Garrett,
I fuck
depending
with
what up,
Chris.
boy.
Yeah, people said you were going to be the next Michael.
Yeah.
And then you go through this phase where you're in the hood, but then you can go do a record with old girl. Gonna tell me what it be
George
without
Sparks.
air.
George
Like you,
Sparks,
so
yeah.
you're doing hood shit, but then you're doing pop shit, but then you want to be in the hood. Then you punch the shit out of Rihanna, even though we know she caused it. But I don't want to be the domestic
Hey, I wasn't
violence
there. I don't
person.
know what happened.
I don't want to be the person.
views expressed by Travis Sherry are
I
his
don't
and
want
his
to be
alone.
the
I don't know
guy.
They
what
do not
happened. I
reflect the
wasn't there.
views of anybody
I don't
associated
wanna
with the
be
Kickback
guy.
Podcast. Thank you.
Allegedly.
And I don't think that has anything to do
Allegedly,
with the
she
music
hit him first.
myself. But
But you know you go through that controversy, and you're making records on both sides. But then it's like the only thing that's a benefit for you is Usher puts out the Moving Mountains record, which only goes platinum off of a 10 million sold record. So it's like, yeah, he's there, but he's not necessarily in your way. You're still the bright spot on a crop of young artists that are coming in. And real talk, Chris, I'll say this, Chris did in 10 placements, 10 rap hook placements, what Case did on one.
Okay, explain.
Case to this day, no matter where you go, no matter what club you go to, if they play Living It Up, people stop what
It's
they
a
doing.
rap. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he did in like 10 rap placements
Yeah.
the impact of what Case did in one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just, sometimes it's just like when you're the only one there. It's like, look at Beyonce. We talk about Beyonce. Some people hate her, but it's like, it's sad that you put the whole industry on her back because she's the only one there. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, you got a new crop of people that's coming up that's making great music, but the world still stops when Beyonce releases something.
Yep.
The world still stops when Jay-Z releases something. Like,
cause they gonna fuck up the night.
yeah, but
Oh.
we are gonna fuck up the night. But the thing is, you know, it comes down to your brand.
Right.
It comes down to what people know that they're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell artists, I'm like, you know, if I give you $5 and I say go to Walmart and get me a honey bun, and you go to Walmart and they have the great value 10-pack for $3, or they have a little Debbie for $1.69, which one are you gonna get? And most people will be like, I get more for this. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but then you're not gonna get quality.
No exclusivity.
Because you don't know if Kiki and them was feeling it that day when they was throwing sugar on top of it. You don't know if the fucking honey bun was lined up just right. But you know that little Debbie, no matter where you go in the world, that bitch gonna taste the same exact way.
Who the fuck is Lil Debbie? You
We
know,
ain't
that's
figured
a
out.
whole
We
nother
ain't
thing.
figured out who Deborah
It's
is
cool.
yet.
Yeah,
we ain't figured out
You know
yet.
what? I've gone too far. I've gone too
The
far.
views expressed by Case.
Nah, nigga,
towards
you
Lil
want to know
Debbie.
too.
Well, you know what? Denzel said it best in American Gangster.
I'm
you
leaving
know
here
what
with
I'm saying?
something.
When he said, you know, I have a brand name.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? We talking about Blue Magic, and he was
yeah.
like, I have a brand name. He was like, people rely on it. They trust it.
They trust it. They don't know me no
Yeah.
more than they know
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
chairman
yeah,
of General
yeah.
Mills.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that's what it is. It's like brand wise, the brand, like real talk, like, do we trust Chris Brand?
Good question.
Because can Chris release an album with 8 songs, or does he have to keep releasing albums now with 20, 30, 40 songs?
See, and that was my thing.
I mean, I know he's playing the algorithm game,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's not playing the quality
Yeah.
game.
Sir, what do you feel about that? Because, and the reason I want you to talk about it, as I want you to talk from an artist standpoint, because one thing I do know since the inception of your career is you had the right records come out at the right times, and I think that is what catapulted you to be able to still be performing 30 years later right now off records that you did in the 90s, and they're still popular. You know what I'm saying?
My shit has always been just to make music that people would listen to 30 years later, like my parents used to listen to Motown.
Right.
So the whole algorithm and all that shit, I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Right.
I just want to make music that's good music that's gonna last. So,
But
that's
you
for
can't
everybody
do
else
that.
to think about.
But can you do that if you don't put some of yourself into the
Well,
music?
I feel like you have to put yourself
Right.
into it.
But I feel like
because
nowadays
people, because people know when you're faking.
Okay, yep,
But we do live in a fake generation.
we do.
And so I would say that's probably the reason why a lot of this fake shit gets where it is. But you're not going to listen to it in 30, 40 years.
So let's dissect that a little bit, right? Let's unpack that. Who's to blame, right? In a situation where you have an artist, you have production, you have people that are on the team, you have labels, you have everybody making decisions as to the product that gets put out, right? Who's to blame for not only the quality, but the remembrance of stuff that's coming out?
We are.
We who?
The masses.
Is it the producer? Is it the
no,
artist?
the masses.
Is it
the
the-
masses are to blame.
Okay, the people that
Because-
are buying, you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we had the thing is there's a good and a bad to what we're dealing with. When we had gatekeepers, you had a filter, and you had a bar that was set for you to make it through that gate. Now anybody who wakes up tomorrow can just throw a song on the internet and feel like I'm just like Case. I put a record out and like no
Right.
no you didn't.
It sound
put
like
a
Touch Me,
record out.
Tease Me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
It's
no,
like,
it don't.
No,
it
you
don't.
didn't. It's not the same process.
Right.
And so what you did was you went from saying, okay, I got a ball with 1 million people in it. When I put something out, it's gonna hit most of them. If I throw it at something, throw it at the wall.
Okay.
Now that 1 million people is spread out. So now, the analogy I think I always give when I'm talking about it, if we get a whole crowd of people together in Phillips Arena, how do you notice anybody? And the only way you notice anybody is that person that's dressed in a clown suit that set themselves on fire. You're like, oh shit, I fucks with that.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just too much.
That's real.
And
It's
the masses,
oversaturated for
the
real.
masses have been dumbed down. Remember back in the days, shoot, the masses, after somebody like Case got off stage, shoot, the band could keep going for another 10 minutes. You be like, man, they killing it. You know what I'm saying? We relied on Don
That was a
Cornelius.
different, yeah.
We wanted Don Cornelius to be like, hey, so we good.
Nigga, I
So
miss
on the
Don
drums.
Cornelius. The mighty.
You know what I'm saying? Like on the drums, who is it? That's okay. That's
Yeah.
funky drummer.
Yeah.
Over on keys, we got Sweet Fingers. Now I love y'all's music. You know what I'm saying? Now they like, all right, cool. He did the record. All right, we going. Like they only halfway sit around to the show
attention
done.
span is like that.
Yeah. If they can't scroll, like people aren't sitting around like at the show, like, oh my God, they enjoying this experiment. Like an artist like Case, if he goes on the road and let's say like he's just doing a couple shows to warm up, he doesn't even have a couple shows to warm up no more because every show you go to, everybody got their phone out. So now you're
Yeah.
locked into that performance.
And you're
nobody's
responsible for that moment. Like,
Don't
yeah.
fuck up, nigga.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody is ever talking about their Elvis moment. Like you don't see people talk about I was there that night that he did this. You know what I'm saying?
So is it the same thing from a producer standpoint? Because when you're making the music, don't you have to have the same mentality in terms of the product that you're putting out? Because you got to think about the same thing. Like people can capture, if they capture it one time, it's never going away.
Sort of.
Okay.
I think if you let these young kids get in your head, you'll be locked into something. But I still think you're allowed to be. I still think you have a window of creativity. But it goes back to what he said. Like we have to be locked in to create that magic. Like that's the energy that we have to put on the record. And if we put the fun on the record, or if we put the sadness on the record, stuff like that, it's there. Like I remember like people had like back in the days I got asked to do a record for Tony Braxton. And somebody was like, man, you think you could do another Unbreak My Heart? I'm like, who the fuck sits
It's no
around
another.
fucking depressed as a motherfucker sitting in the studio doing that slow ass fucking record? Don't name a sun in the rain.
But I got a better one for you. I hate when people say, I got another this.
Yeah.
And I've always said there is no another this. Because if you could just that easily make another that, then that wouldn't be special.
It wasn't that special.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't be special.
Good point.
Like people would always be like, yo, I got the next Touch Me, Tease Me. And I don't even talk to those people. Because there is no another Touch Me, Tease Me. Because if you could just make another Touch Me, Tease Me that easily, then Touch Me, Tease Me wouldn't be special.
Yeah.
Did
And that goes
you,
for any other record.
Like,
that
I
we
hate when people
consider
come to me
special.
and people are like, man, you don't let nobody get in on Case project. And I'd be like, it's not that I don't let you in on it. It's just our creative
Y'all
process.
niggas don't understand how it's supposed to go.
Our creative process ain't the same. Like he'll hit me at 4 a.m. and be like, listen to this Stevie Wonder record. We create like that. Like
Right.
we're actually creating. We're
Right.
crafting.
Right.
We're not sitting around like because you know what? To be honest,
We're not looking for a formula.
it takes like what people aren't understanding is it takes a certain level of arrogance to go in the studio, make a song, and then call me and be like, man, I got that record for Case. And I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck we've been recording. So you
You
just
don't know
feel
who
like
Case is right now. Right.
okay,
Right.
you don't know what the fuck going
Right.
on. And you might send me a happy record and he's like,
He's not in that moment right now.
he's not in that moment
Yeah.
right now, so it's not going to be received. So it's like if you're not a part of the process, if you're not hanging out with us, really looking over his shoulder, which you're not really going to be that because most times it's just me and him.
Yeah.
It's just not the same, and that's how I think that's the environment I've created with a lot of people that I work with because I hate these. I call it sitcoms. People aren't creating movies; they be creating sitcoms. You know, you be on a sitcom. It's
Creating
different
trailers. Yeah.
writers every week. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just craziness. Versus when you create a movie, you have a director. You know what it is. We got one budget.
Right.
We got to create this.
This is the script.
This is the script.
This is what we doing. This is what we making.
This is what we're doing.
You can't have some random motherfucker like, yo, we need a nigga dressed like the Joker. Nigga, this is a Disney movie.
Right,
Nigga. Yeah,
right,
you-
right.
yeah.
Like when you listen to Therapy, you really do feel like there's moments on that album that you going through something that you've been through. Like how often, like you know what I'm saying? You as somebody who curates music, how often do you talk to an artist and you like, tell me about your project? And they like, well, I made this record. It's called Songs About My Grandma. And I really just went in and I just was talking about my grandma, man, because I was just really feeling it. How often do you ever hear that versus people be like, no, I got that record, man. It's a hit. I got Timbaland on it. And then we put Jay-Z on it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Swiss Beats did the beat. And it's just, man, it's
Yeah,
just fire.
yeah.
Like, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
but
it's not real.
You've not told me about the record. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Or people are just overly describe a record. Like they be like, man, I got this song. It's called Red Cup. And it's all about how disposable love is and how you just drink it.
Fuck you.
Yo, that was actually pretty creative right there. I actually, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
You know what I'm
you ain't
saying?
getting no complaints
I'ma
yesterday
let-
on that.
I'ma
Yo.
let-
That was all
I'ma
right, right?
I'ma let
That's
Case
the
have that
producer,
one.
ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
gonna let
right there.
Case have that one. I'll be but real talk.
This
dog.
nigga's ill.
He like
Say,
that.
we got a song
It's
called Red Cup. Talking
and it's about
disposable
how
love.
disposable
Hey,
love is once
that's-
you
you
get it,
once
you
you
get it,
once
you
you get
get
what
it.
you get out of it and you just kind of toss
Watch
it
that
away.
come out on Spotify in about a week.
Nigga, somebody about to make a song.
I got one.
You
on
just gave him
Dimitri.
too much,
I
nigga.
got one on Dimitri. It's called Red Cup. I ain't gonna lie. I
Talk
do.
about, for both of y'all, talk about the feeling of making a record, right? And knowing instantly that that's going to be one of them ones.
some of the best ones.
Give us some examples of records that you've done and that you've been a part of that you knew it, and tell us why.
Some of the stuff comes from us just sitting around talking about life. He might talk about something going on in the past or telling me a story from the road, and
Oh, yeah. We will
you know what I'm saying.
talk
And
about
then
that next.
Then you just got, it's just, you're looking for the sound of it, or I might hear something that him and Seuss is talking about, and they might be laughing about something, and it just, I feel like I'm having that R. Kelly moment. Wow.
Whoa, what?
No, I mean, but legally.
No, I was just asking. My
No,
bad.
but I'm saying, but legally though.
No, I was looking at the thing.
Yeah, but legally though.
I'm good.
But legally
I'm
though.
good. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
good.
but not when you end up, with a lot of
good.
time.
I'm-
Federal,
I
not
don't
a lot
know
of
what you're
federal
talking
time.
about.
But yeah, like it just we sit around and just be stories. It could be something stupid that we look at on TikTok, which I got something funny to show you. Oh my god,
My nigga.
But yeah, it just comes from that, and I think that's where you make some of the best records that impact people.
Give us an example of one of those records that you guys have done.
All right, let's see. You want to go there? All right, you want to dance, old man? There's this record called Spinning.
Oh yeah.
No, let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone. Cause that one, that's too.
I need to know the one.
That
like,
was
I need to
embellished.
know.
That was
Man,
embellished.
yeah,
that was
a little
embellished. We
bit,
added.
little bit.
No, but we want to
more
know,
the story.
like, give us an example of a couple of records where you knew instantly, as soon as y'all finished recording it, oh, this right here?
I've never had a record.
Too Many Nights in L.A.
Really?
Too Many Nights
I
in
like
LA.
that song too.
You delivered.
And
the
I
shit
told
out of it.
him that too.
Yeah,
I think that song was fire.
Actually, no, I think the record that you had, you were arrogant when you were singing and you had fun on was like the one with Slim.
Love that
my
record
shit.
too.
Yeah, you was in your bag. You was
This
Love
could
that
be,
song.
Maybe.
Which one?
But I've never made a record in my whole entire career that I was like, oh, this I've never had.
So you didn't know that Missing You was gonna be?
I hated Missing You. That's kind of how I know.
If you don't
I
like
hate
it,
yeah,
everybody else gonna like it.
yeah.
Damn.
That's usually how I cause I'm never satisfied. And he'll tell you, there's nigga, I'll finish the album and be like, yo, let me sing the whole album one more time. Am I lying?
No.
Well,
and I've always been like
All
that.
the
I
songs
get
on
that,
therapy,
though.
we recorded.
Yeah,
at
we
least three
recorded the
times.
whole week. Yeah,
Everything
at
we
least
recorded
three
at least three
Because I'm
times.
like, yo, he like, yo, it's perfect. Fuck you, I hate it. Let me do it again.
Right. Which I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
But I've never made a record and was like, oh, this it. And what's
What
funny
about-
is
what
I
about
talked
you?
to Charlie Wilson about that. And he was like, yeah, me, yearning for your love, we knew. And I was standing, I'm like, I never had that moment. I probably never will.
Travis, tell us the truth.
No, he's right.
But there's got to be a record that y'all have done where you knew whether he
Maybe
knew or not,
he knew, I didn't know.
where you knew, like you give, and then all of a sudden we end up knowing.
I think low key stay. I think low key
Okay.
stay. 'Cause
But Stay hasn't
you
come
got
out
you
yet.
got yeah,
it
yeah.
hasn't
But
come
I'm
out
about to
yet,
say. Yeah, I'm about to say you got an attachment to that record, just like how you delivered it and
Yeah,
sang it.
yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
one of those records. Like I said, I still think "Can I Call You Miss?" You got an attachment to it.
That I've heard that. That's awesome.
I think you
That's
got
a great.
attachment
That's
to
a
yeah,
great song.
yeah.
You know what
So
I'm
tell
saying?
us about the album. Tell us about the structure. Of course, do we have a date yet or not?
Nah, Suits out here fucking up.
Okay. Well, tell us about the structure and the progression of the album. If we're to listen to it from start to finish, is it arranged yet? Do we know what order?
We haven't
song-
put everything in order yet.
Okay.
But I think it goes through a bunch of different phases of love.
Okay.
Personally, I really think it's a movie. Like I think
Dope.
you could see the different scenes in a relationship on this one. All the records definitely go together, and you know what I'm saying, they fit in different phases for him. I still think that it's just the how can I say it? I think the visuals are gonna be important.
Okay.
On this one, I think this one visuals are gonna be important.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just even if it's 1 minute and a half visuals for the TikTok swipe
Just for
generation.
for the teasers.
Yeah, just to keep people coming back, looking, because I think people are gonna feel it more.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people are gonna feel inside of him. That don't sound right, do it?
I don't know.
I mean,
I
hey,
think they're
man,
gonna feel
you know,
your heart more. They're gonna feel
Yeah.
your
Whatever
heart
you feel,
more.
you feel.
We know
No,
Whatever they
no,
feel, they feel, man.
no,
Listen, you can't tell
no.
people how or what to feel, man.
What do you think, bro? It's your project.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, it expresses a whole bunch of different facets of love, different shit that I go through, different shit that I have been going through.
What are people going to learn about Case when they listen to this album?
He was vulnerable on this one.
Ah,
Yeah,
Yeah, he was more vulnerable.
him?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's more days that he just came to the studio and just vibed.
Yeah.
And was like, I'm just gonna lay a scratch and be done. Versus like us just
As
cutting
opposed
a
to
record.
preparing for it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was more vulnerable on this one. Like he was more willing to make the mistakes and come back and be like, okay, I know what I want to do to fix it.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, that's always the best music to me. Like
I
you got to
agree.
bare your soul.
I agree.
So,
I agree. You got to let him have
and
it.
now if people look, it's be like, damn, this nigga's soul fucked up. It is what it
That
is.
is what it
Yeah.
is. That's my
It is
soul.
what it is, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I own
Ain't
this.
yours, nigga.
Yeah, right. And it
it's
came out
mine,
with
nigga.
passion. You know what I'm saying?
God know my heart.
Yeah.
Creating R&B music. Obviously, you know, we're in a time right now where I think people are starting to respect the impact of rhythm and blues music. There was a point where nobody was really messing with it for a second, right? Now I feel like we're walking back into a stage where people are now beginning to need it again. You know what I'm saying?
But tell the reason why though.
That's
Let's
what-
live in a space of honesty right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
The problem is that the honesty that we weren't living inside of was that other people were doing it better. The UK artists embraced soul music and did it better than us. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at a Sam Smith, you look at an Amy Winehouse. Those artists over there, they embrace it. If Case goes over to UK right now, he'll probably sell out. the
I was
O2
rocking with
Arena.
Sam Smith.
Oh, I have. Yes, sir.
I was
probably-
rocking
you know
with
what I'm
Sam
saying?
Smith. Look,
I
He
was.
said
Oh,
6
yeah.
nights in
Hey.
a row.
Oh,
I
yeah,
did
man.
it better than
Yeah,
Prince.
man,
I
know
was
it. Say
rocking
it
with Sam
again.
Smith up until the last award show. I was rocking with him up until then.
Yeah,
When he
see,
came
that's
out
the
with
thing
all
about
that
it.
satanic stuff and all that, I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, you look at artists like Adele, like you know what I'm saying. Those artists come here and they go creative. Like I was reading the process behind like I forgot which record was it, but it was like her huge hit, and they were talking about going to the Capitol Records and going in the reverb room and treating some of the sounds on the album and treating her voice a certain way. And I'm like, they hold to those things now. I agree with God, I forgot who it was, the soul singer that was talking about how Adele fuck up her voice because she
Every
don't know how to
time
sing.
it was. It wasn't Shaka Khan. It was somebody
yeah,
like that though.
yeah,
That was like
yeah.
she loses her voice every time
Yeah,
because
because
she's
they don't know
fucking up
how
her
to
voice
sing.
trying to sing like us.
Yeah, because those artists don't
Wow.
they don't come from.
I never heard that.
Yeah, they don't
That's why
come
she
from,
cancels tours. She fucks her voice up every time.
Yeah,
and
but
she
they-
doesn't cancel tours. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
ain't
you
us,
look at the
man.
machine. Like
You
look at the
ain't us,
machine.
nigga.
in Korea. Those K-pop artists are doing 90s R&B. Mm-hmm. So you have too many other people.
Bruno
that
Mars'
are,
last album was all New Jack Swing.
Okay, because if we not ready to admit that Versace on the Floor is really Gregory Abbott, Shake You Down.
Nigga, the whole
First of all,
fucking
Bruno
album.
Mars is a New Jack artist. Period. I've been telling people
Yeah.
that forever.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm for people that don't know, New Jack Swing is my favorite era of music. Right.
Yeah.
And Bruno Mars records are
And I
New
love
Jack
Bruno
records.
Mars.
They're
Yeah.
New Jack
I
records.
think Bruno Mars is the best singer of this generation.
He's dope.
Yeah.
Like he's
No,
but
he-
the, but
he
the
is.
record,
Really?
He is.
Can't
He's
nobody
not-
fuck
he's
with
not
that.
to be
No.
messed
Can't
with.
nobody
No.
fuck with that boy.
performance wise and
I don't
nothing.
give a fuck about
Yeah.
performance. I'm talking
he
about
lives
as
in
far
that
as
space
straight
that
up
Michael
sing-
transcended into.
Can't nobody fuck with that
He's a
nigga.
beast.
Yeah, he
but
lives- he
but
lives
the
in that
music
space.
selection, the records that he puts out though, is
But they're
is-
authentic.
Yeah,
They're
But
authentic.
they're New
Like, he's
Jack
not-
records.
He's not
Because
following
that's
the
what-
culture.
that's
He's
what he
pushing the
feels.
culture.
That's what he.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you got to make
Yeah.
what you feel.
Yeah, but the problem is that you got all these singers who aren't going through the gate. You know what I'm saying? Like, like listen to these singers and the way they deliver records and the way they sing. None of these, you can tell none of these singers have sang in church. They don't
It's
know how to
all
move
Aaliyah.
people.
Well, all the female
Yeah,
artists
yes.
sound like Aaliyah.
And I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to be in it. You know what? I'm gonna say it.
Well,
Let's
you can
stop.
say it.
Let's stop.
I knew
talk-
Aaliyah personally. She was a close personal friend of mine.
Aaliyah
so
was
whatever
a-
he's saying is what he's saying.
Aaliyah was super dope. I still say her first
Yeah.
album when R. Kelly was producing her was better than the second. Whatever. Hate me for that or follow me.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he pushed her vocally to a place that she didn't get pushed to later on in her career.
Oh,
I feel like
That's
though,
deep.
but I feel like I'm gonna bring Aaliyah into the conversation like I would. Don't do this, Gerald. I'm gonna bring her into the
Do it,
conversation.
Gerald. You can do it.
Like I will Tupac.
okay.
We embrace these artists because
and Aaliyah?
they were part of the MTV
Explain
generation, and people uplift these artists and say they were big artists because they only thing they can remember is that their videos were getting played a lot. But at the end of the day, when Aaliyah was out, she sold 1.4 when she was with R. Kelly. She went to Timbaland and Missy, sold 1.6. Monica, when she sold 1.6, Monica sold 3, and Brandy had just sold like 5 or 6.
Did she?
So people sit here and they talk about how Aaliyah was on top of the game
I
and she
can't
was
count.
this princess. And I'm like, no, Aaliyah was another dope artist that was out. I don't put her against anybody because I don't think we should put people against anybody, but I think we should have an honest
But
conversation.
people always do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Compare,
Like once again,
comparison shit. It
Yeah.
shouldn't
Like-
be
like-
like that.
like I keep- like-
dope music is dope music.
yeah, like me and him have had this conversation, like the new list when they like, well, you know, the Jay-Z thing, and people like, well, Jay-Z shouldn't be number one. You can't get mad at somebody who puts in the work. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I love Tupac in a certain sense. You know what I'm saying? I like some of his early stuff, but let's be honest, Tupac was a part of the MTV generation. They played his video all the time. They played I Get Around. They played Brenda's Got a Baby. They played Dear Mama. You know what I'm saying? And then at some point they played California Love forever. But does that make somebody a big artist, or does that make them, you know what I'm saying? Does it mean their label just paid for their
hit records make you a big artist.
Yeah, and I'm sitting
And,
there like,
and I think that's been the formula from day one. It
And-
doesn't
and-
matter. And this is being real. Like when whoever has the biggest hit is the biggest artist. That's the way that it goes. Now, I don't know if nowadays, and I'm saying nowadays with strength.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I don't necessarily think that being the big artist means the most talented artist.
Yeah.
But the biggest artists are the ones that have the most recognizable records. Period.
yeah,
And
I
that's
think
the way
I
it
think
is.
with like Tupac and Biggie, we got shorted. You know what I'm saying? Because what we don't ever think about is like we view those artists in terms of current. And what we never think about is we lost both those artists at 25.
You know
they were
what?
still young.
I-
we never got a chance to really see them
I feel that.
evolve into their best. But
I
we got
feel
this,
that.
we got to witness two prolific artists, like, you know what I'm saying, who were just cut off too short. Like
So-
I just feel like they were prolific.
So I
like,
feel that. However, I'm gonna contradict that. I'm gonna say I think that it happened exactly the way it was supposed to.
Okay.
I think that we lost both of those artists at their peaks so that their impact could reign forever. Because I think that when you have the bell curve effect and you go
Yeah.
up, and then you up there, then you come back down,
Yeah.
you lose notoriety. And I don't think those two were meant to lose notoriety
I
ever.
agree.
It's almost
I
like
agree.
Michael Jackson was never supposed to be an old man.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
never supposed to see Michael Jackson as a 75-year-old
With
man.
kids.
Because he's not a human being to
Yeah.
us. Like,
Same.
that's not what you were supposed to see.
Yeah.
So I think the same thing. I think with them two and artists, those two artists like that, it happened exactly the way it's supposed to happen. That's the way
Yeah.
that I've always felt about that.
Yeah, it's just I think that we view them as though they made it to 40 or 50, and it's like you never really ever think about they were gone at 25.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But their impact is so crazy, you know, in terms of the body of work
Right.
that was there. You know what I'm saying? Which is to me sad. But I think when we make out the list, I can't be mad at Jay-Z because I'm like, the body of work is so crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Choke No Joke is mad at Jay-Z, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh,
Yeah, but I
okay,
mean,
we're
but
there.
the thing is, it's
Say less. Say less.
But to me, it's the nuance. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like it's like I can respect Jay-Z and I can respect Lil Wayne.
Okay.
The same way I can respect MJ and I can respect LeBron. It's the nuance.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got 6 rings over here straight, which really could have been 8. I got, you know what I'm saying? And I got somebody who's stat padding. I got somebody who has been
Stat
in
padding? Fuck off.
I got
I'm
somebody
not doing
who's
this
been in the
with you.
game for 20 years and is still playing at a very high level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just when we start comparing the two, it's like I can't kill off this person's body of work to celebrate this person's body of work.
None of you niggas could fuck with Michael Jackson. That is my response to that.
But my
Period.
But at the
Ever.
end of the day,
Ever.
I mean, if I'm going to look at the Jay-Z conversation the same way I would look at MJ, 14 number ones can't be. You can't get past that. You know what I'm saying?
Michael
we can
Jackson
talk about
was more famous in 1984 than any of these motherfuckers are with the internet.
Facts.
Michael
Go
Jackson.
figure.
Michael Jackson. They had to keep ambulances at his concerts.
Yeah, how about that?
Because I'm sorry, to me, hands down. If anybody watches podcast, go get the DVD from I think it was like 93
I saw it.
or something like
It was
that.
it was
The Bucharest
tour.
concert.
Bucharest,
the Bucharest
yeah.
concert.
Dog.
Oh my God!
Let me tell you something.
If you want to see
I
Mike at
saw
his
one
peak,
person pass out at my
Man.
concert, and I was like, "Yeah, nigga, I'm mauling, nigga.
I'm here,
Jackie,
I've
nigga, I'm
arrived.
Jackie."
Somebody just lost consciousness. I've arrived.
They was going down like it was a sniper out there. Like hey, that one right there. Hey, that one right there.
No, it was a bunch of people passing out before the shit started.
Yeah, I'm like
I don't
that-
know if it was hot in the bitch.
That Bucharest
Or-
concert, dog, was to
that's
this
true.
day just like hands down.
That was in '93. I remember that.
yeah, that was
Cause
crazy.
them niggas like, if this shit ain't good, we blowing this bitch up.
Yeah, like
Them niggas
artists
had bombs on their
have that
back.
moment. You know what I'm saying? Like they have that moment. Like I still think we need to have one. Like
Nah, I ain't got that.
we I still think we need to.
I gotta
we
stop.
need
I gotta
we
learn
need
how to spin.
like we need a Case House of Blues moment.
We had that. I'm working on spinning. If I could spin just one good time, somebody gonna pass out.
No,
nigga.
but that's a funny joke, and that's great.
No, it's dead ass.
No, I get it. But
I've been working on that shit.
You just said something that we need to go into because I thoroughly agree with what you're saying, and I've actually been telling him there needs to be we just finished. We're doing the Case 25 and all that, right?
Yes.
But there needs to be a Case Unplugged type of a vibe.
Yeah.
And I've been telling him that for a long time. And when every time he does a show with a band,
Yeah.
it's like a different.
Yeah, he's in a different space.
Yeah, and he's in a different space.
He's in a different. He
watch
gets in the
him.
phone booth and puts the
I
Superman
watch
cape
him,
on.
and it's different than him doing
it's
the
way
track
different.
show.
It's way different.
So talk about that because here's the thing about that. People talk about as a producer, people talk about when you do live shows that are band shows and like the music comes in different. The main person that comes to my mind is Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
She never does a album version of a record when she performs.
Well, I mean,
like she'll
if
do
she-
a
if she-
version.
if she
and
shows
you're
up-
like, what song is that? Until the hook come in,
Well,
right?
if she showed up when people actually get there, then you know.
The views of Travis Cherry are Travis. No, but no.
Anybody doing
It's
nothing.
amazing to deliver. It's amazing how you can
Ain't nobody
deliver
doing
a record at 8:30 versus
Yeah.
at fucking 11:30.
So,
Ah,
but
shit, fuck faggot.
let's say let's say for
Fuck.
let's say for S's and giggles,
Yeah.
right? That we can put together
S's and giggles?
yeah,
Oh,
because-
shit.
Like an
Okay.
intimate
don't
like an
forget-
intimate
don't
night
forget
with
we're trying
Case.
to keep selling the show, so we
Yeah,
okay.
like if we put together an intimate night with Case or a Case,
Yes.
a Case and Friends.
As a producer,
Yeah.
how important is it for the records that are being performed in that type of environment? How important is it for them to sound very close to the records you produced?
Like I guess I've been able to hear different artists do records I produce with their bands and seeing what the bands do when they embellish a little bit or they add a little bit more flavor to it. With Case, the one thing that I think we haven't, well, I get this experience, but I don't think people have gotten to experience yet, is there's certain vocal tones he uses. There's a certain emotional place that he goes to when he gets in that zone.
Yeah.
That I think if we can capture that moment, it would be epic.
Do you have to have does he need to hear the record like he hears it in the studio to capture that moment?
No.
No?
Like the thing with him
Complete opposite.
versus other artists that I've worked with, Case knows all of his records.
Right.
Like you know, here I go, Jarard. Like I hate working with artists and we do a project or we do a bunch of songs together and that artist doesn't know their records.
Yeah, like who?
He knows
What,
his,
what artist is that?
I don't want to.
Oh, don't ask him that.
The views expressed by
Man.
Jarard J.
I just asked the question. I ain't expressing no view. I'm just,
No, I mean
by
like
proxy.
like
By
you know what I'm
proxy,
saying? Like when I started music, I used to wonder how artists remembered their records. Like, you'd be like, man, how does Whitney know all these records?
Yeah,
Or how does this artist know all these records they perform? Until I started producing records, and then I realized how many times we do the records over and over again.
Yeah, they become,
And then I started seeing the difference between artists who are looking for a hit and an artist who just loves being creative. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who's just a creative person. Like there's
I got one
huge...
record that every time we do it on stage, I fuck up the words.
For real?
Yeah, every time.
Wait, what?
I'm not gonna tell you what record, but
Yes, you are.
Every fucking
You're definitely
time.
gonna tell us what record.
Yeah, because then they're gonna start. Yeah, no,
Oh, you're definitely gonna tell us what record.
No, I do it every fucking
You're
time.
gonna
And
tell
I'm
us
like,
what-
God damn it, I knew this
What
record.
record is it? And give us an example if you messing the words up. This is your podcast.
I can't give you
People
an
wanna know.
example.
Oh yeah, you are. What record is it?
The record is Replay.
Oh, I love that song.
But I come out and I be singing that shit, and then when they get to the part with the sweat it from your body, I'll be vibing on the island from a dollar. See, I fucked it up just now.
Yeah, so that's what you
I
do.
fuck it up every time.
You just go dun it, and then.
But wait, there was one time I got on stage.
That record's fire.
No,
too.
let me tell you the funniest shit that ever happened to me. I get out on stage, Faded Pictures comes on. And okay, chorus going. And in my head, I'm like, I have no idea how my mind just went
That
blank.
happens though sometimes, bro.
No, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, it'll come to me. That shit never
That
came
shit
to
never
me.
came. Yo.
This shit never came. And then, so I had the crowd sing it. And then when the second verse came, I'm like, it's still not fucking happening. So I sang the first verse again. I'm like, God damn it.
I'm gonna start going out with a cue card, standing there looking out my window.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Yo.
Nights are long and my days are cold because I don't have you.
And if you see it, just
How
go-
can I be so damn demanding?
and then if you still can't get it,
Dot.
nigga.
My guy.
Dog.
There my cut. Stop.
Nah, dog.
Case.
I've had moments like that.
Stand. Come follow me. Standing here. Come on. You sing it.
That's the
Stand-
wrong song.
No.
That is not Faded
Oh, yeah,
Pictures,
that's
son.
right.
See,
Yeah, but that's what he
now
said.
y'all just fucked up.
Okay.
And that's why
It's the remix.
I feel like it's not.
It's a mashup.
Hey,
It's
look,
a mashup.
we're gonna just all say, sing it for me, Case. Like Joe said, sing it for me, Case. And you boys supposed to be your trigger.
No, I said Joe help me out. See,
that was the second verse. Don't
no,
do that.
That was the first verse.
No,
dog.
it wasn't.
Okay, I'm not gonna help you.
I know the records.
Okay,
Look at me.
I feel like
He's
you
like I sang the bitch. I know the records.
I know what you're supposed to be
Talk
singing
about,
when you're
son.
supposed to be singing it. You're supposed to sing what I
you
can't.
can't be a no-show.
How dare you, man?
How dare you not sing what I know you're supposed to be singing?
And what happened? That's when he's like, "Whoo!"
But look, let's get back on track. But look, for you to do a Case unplugged type of a scenario, right? You get the way that you sing when you perform. You play with your songs a lot because you can actually sing them. Right? A lot of people can't. Right?
Nah.
You also have rhythm, so you can deviate and come back, which a lot of artists also can't do.
He knows how to
gotta
hit.
feel it.
He knows how to hit black keys.
You gotta feel it.
Yeah, thank
Case
you.
knows how to hit black keys.
So-
That's the one
so-
thing that impressed me with Case is Case
Yeah.
knows he
He
black
does.
keys.
He does.
A lot of these
So-
artists are white keys. That's it.
So
Now you
to-
gotta learn that.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know
A
that.
lot of them
like,
don't know
you know
that.
what I'm saying?
Well,
So
fuck 'em.
for you to do an unplugged type of a scenario is powerful. But my question is, and I think a lot of people would want to know, like I was just asking him, how does it alter your comfort level if the music starts to go somewhere else?
It doesn't.
It doesn't at all. Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Because for me, I'm like, we going.
Okay.
Like-
we're vibing. Just
Because I like to go.
yeah.
And if you speak to any band I've ever played with, I'm like, nigga, just go.
Just go.
And I'm gonna come with you.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, you watch me, and when I go, you go. Like, we going.
Yeah.
We black.
Yeah.
Nigga, that's what we do.
Yeah.
I think if I think where it would win, honestly, is if there was an intimate night with Case, and we set
How
it up.
much?
Huh?
How much? What's
you
the
know,
ticket?
I mean, you know, it's,
$135.
that's when it first comes out.
Well, on
once it hits
Groupon, on
StubHub,
Groupon.
once it hits StubHub and
That's
Ticketmaster.
StubHub.
If it's a show like that,
But I
and
think
it's
it's
like
an intimate setting. We do.
and they
less-
got tables and white tablecloths
Even
and
it let some little girls have a little
That's
bean
200
bags
That's
up
Whoa,
front.
whoa, whoa. No little girls.
I'm sorry. Let the oh god.
the views,
Oh,
of,
God.
the views of Travis
Oh,
Cherry.
Yeah, I don't
I-
know what the fuck
I
he
just-
talking
They
about.
do not
Ma'am,
reflect the
there
views
will
of
be
the
no
Kickback
little
Podcast.
girls.
This month.
Hashtag
Hashtag
above
hashtag
18.
this month. Okay,
Hashtag
okay.
above 18.
This nigga's
But no, I
ill.
mean if you have people sit on the little bean bags, like because where
Yeah, some chill
wins,
stuff.
where he wins is like when I seen you perform at City Winery, it felt intimate.
yeah.
It felt
I set that
intimate.
up, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
not to
if
just
Case
saying.
could walk
Yeah,
out
it was
into the
him.
crowd, they would melt.
Do you
because
remember?
he's still the last of the crooners.
Right, but on top
Like,
of
he's
that,
still the last of the
Because Joe's
crooners.
still here. That's
Yeah,
my dog. Joe's
but-
still here.
Joe,
But-
Joe didn't speak to me when I was at the concert.
Oh.
He
It's
didn't
all right.
talk
He
to me.
felt like you was,
He
on
didn't
the
want
other
nobody
side.
to talk to him. He walked in. He didn't want to talk to nobody. So I felt like, you know what?
Hey,
you know,
shout out to my brother Joe.
I've
Travis
met-
Cherry, he get funny sometimes. It's okay.
I'm just saying.
It's all right. That's all
I
right.
can text Kenny Lattimore right now. He'll answer back right now like, hey, guys,
I'm
what's
sure
up?
he would. I'm sure
But
he would.
Joe,
You
can I get
see,
Joe?
you
Can
said
I
it
get
works.
Joe?
I'm sure he would.
Can I get Joe?
I'm sure he would.
Can I get Joe? You know what I'm saying? Can I get Joe? Hey, Joe, can I get you?
man, that's just. I mean, I don't know. It's just. To
See,
me,
now
it's,
you made me come out of character. God damn it.
to me, like those type of vibes, man, is like true artistry. Like that, you brought up a good the City Ridery show, and another good one was when we did it at Route 66 out there in Johns Creek. Remember that? When it was.
Oh yeah.
These are the type of shows, man, that people talk about. Like,
But see, that wasn't a show.
Yeah.
That was just, hey, I'm just gonna get up here and sing.
but it was vibe.
Those are
though.
the best shit.
It's the best. It's the best
Yeah,
ever.
like
The best shit I can ever do is when you don't tell me I have to sing.
Yeah, but
if
like
I just get there and
the-
see the people, you hand me a mic, that's the best show ever.
But see, like the 25 concert, like
Yeah.
you just got in
yeah,
your
that was
zone.
a good night there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got in your zone and you didn't care about nothing. You just sang the records and
Yeah.
had fun.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to
With the
be.
Yeah.
exception of one person who had a lot to drink.
No names, but
names
as
shall
a
be
man
told.
thinketh, so shall
They
he
had a lot
get.
to
Nigga,
drink.
some
They
shit
made
like
it-
that.
they
Nigga,
made
you
it
read the
fun.
Bible.
But I think if there's a plan,
Just let it happen.
I think if there's a
Because I was
plan-
there. I don't remember. Okay, well, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yes you do.
Yes, you do.
But just keep
Yes,
going.
you do.
Okay,
Just
okay.
let's leave it alone. Let's
All right, all right.
see
All right, all right.
That's my brother.
I love him to
We gonna
death.
let that go.
I love him to death, but
I don't know what y'all talking about, but okay.
That's cool.
yes, you do.
All right.
But no, I think if we set up something like that, an intimate night out with Case, it would be crazy. Because think about it, you get Case giving out roses, you get Case walking through the crowd, just interacting with them. Listen, he like
He has personality.
he exudes
And-
he exudes sex.
Zhizh. It's
He
called
gets-
zhizh.
He's just he is this. Wait, how
It's
you
called zhizh.
how you say it on the movie? He has that Shwada, I don't know what.
Hey, baby.
No, that's
Je
what
ne
he
sais
on
quoi.
a Janae's I don't know what.
You gonna let my hand fall off?
Oh my god.
But
you got
yeah,
to
like-
be that. You got to be
Like
that.
we
gotta
don't
do that.
Like we don't have that moment. We don't talk about it enough. Like there's that. What concert was that? That last concert with Amy Winehouse. That was a moment. I bought that on DVD. I had to go buy the Blu-ray of that one. It was that last concert that she did,
Yeah.
and the dude that she was dating was up in the crowd, and she was like,
Yeah, that wasn't the last
asking
one.
people.
That wasn't the last one.
But it was that DVD though, when she was asking people
Yeah,
for their
but-
drinks off the table, and she drinking it, and she delivered them records, and it felt intimate. It felt.
It got to feel real. It
Yeah,
gotta
like
feel
we
real.
to this day we still talk about the Tupac House
Right.
of Blues concert.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You know
I've
what I'm
heard
saying?
about it. Okay.
Like
gotta
there's
feel
certain
real.
there's moments
You gotta
that we
feel real.
that we talk about. Like I think when I was first coming up and we had a chance to hang with Biggie and stuff like that, I got to see Big. There's this one club that he would come to down in Holly Springs, you know, outside of Raleigh. It was a hole in the wall, but he just delivered. There was a performance he did, just delivered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's just there's just moments that you don't always get to see.
Talk about. Let's transition. Talk about. We're gonna get a little intimate here, right? Talk about the most uncomfortable moment you've had having to work with him.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah, a moment where you're like, okay,
Okay. Yeah.
like what the? I'm on both of y'all talk about.
Nah,
this.
you on me today.
Nah,
Yeah,
both of
I'm
y'all.
like,
And don't say it wasn't none because that's some bull crap.
It
yeah, I'm
wasn't
just
none.
I'm
That's
trying
my-
to think.
my
Like that's
No,
what
it's
I'm
not.
saying. Like I'm trying to think back because I mean
Let's not do that. There's been moments where he's annoyed the hell out of you and vice versa.
Well,
Like,
it don't make it. That's not the
That's
same as
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Not
That's
really.
not uncomfortable. We used to that. That's part of. That's
okay,
part
so
of the
give me.
process.
I want give us uncomfortable moments that y'all have had working together.
I can't think of none.
I
Actually,
can't really think of none. I can think
Because
of some.
we
I can
already
think of some of
know.
his happiest moments.
Yeah, that's boring. We want
No, I mean like I've
I
seen.
said my
we want
happiness
juice.
boys. My happiness boys. This nigga.
Well,
We
emotion-
want juice. Where's the juice?
No, because emotionally, when we were doing therapy, I'm not gonna lie, he had like a moment that made me be like, oh,
Okay, talk about it.
now he might not.
No, it don't matter what he
It's
wants.
gonna go in a dark
Look
place.
here. We're
It's
going
gonna-
here.
It's gonna. It's
shit.
gonna.
We're not
It's
worried
gonna.
about that.
Come on, come on, let's
It's
go.
going because what's gonna happen
If
after
we
I say
can't-
what I
Travis,
say?
look at me. If we can't do it here, it's never gonna get done. Let's go.
All right, I'm
That's
telling
what she
you.
said.
I'm
You're
telling you.
protected. You're protected. Go.
I'm telling you where it's gonna go after I say what I gotta say.
Oh,
I'm
this
telling you, it's gonna go in a place.
All right, come on,
Your rating's about to go up at least 23%.
Let's go.
bro. We need 24. Let's go.
I remember when we were cutting records for therapy, and
In
it was-
Marietta.
no, at I-7.
I-7.
Okay,
Downtown.
the audience don't care
Downtown.
about that. They want the story.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, they okay. Okay.
And the most beautiful moment I ever had with him. I'm praying on this one. And Seuss, don't start.
He on some
Don't
bullshit.
start. The most beautiful moment I had with him, I remember Case coming in one night and we were going through records and we were listening and he was like, man, we just got our marriage license back. He's like, about to do the wedding, but I'm married.
Yeah.
And that shit touched me because I'm like, damn, I want to feel that way.
Yeah. One day. Yeah.
Yeah. Like not just love, but I want to feel that way when I'm listening to the music and stuff like that. And I remember just that feeling that he had in that moment.
And look at me now, about to get divorced. Ain't that some shit?
See, I told you it was going.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay.
I warned you.
That's okay.
Yeah,
But I remember
ain't that how that worked though?
Yeah. Because then I went through my break.
It's gonna be some better songs now.
The two of them was in the studio with us when we were cutting.
Yeah. Thank you. How
and
about
they just,
that?
oh, that's such a
He did
beautiful
it.
record. And I look at them both.
But how was his energy at that moment though? And I'm
It was
asking that
crazy.
for a
He was on a
beautiful.
high. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I saw behind him. Like I really felt like I saw another part of him that connected with the love we were talking about in the records we were recording, and it made it that much more authentic.
Yep.
And I was like, wow. So I got to see a little bit more of him.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Make me motherfucker Drake, nigga. Fuck you.
It's always one. It's always one over cool dude in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody talking about the motherfucking
There's
love?
always one of them. Never gonna be me type of Negroes in the room.
It's always a fuck love.
It's always a y'all niggas is whack type of nigga. Man, look, man. Okay.
Anybody talking about you no fucking love?
Yeah, it's
Anybody
always
know
one in the
motherfucking
room.
love?
Don't worry about it. You got one of your crew too. We got one in our crew. He's
I ain't
sitting
no
over
little
there.
soft dude
It is
over
what
here
it
just
is.
talking about
Yeah,
love and
I mean,
lovey-dovey. Nobody
You
do
know,
that.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I just remember
that
how
was,
he just had that bright-eyed look on his face where he was like in a place in his life at that moment.
Yeah.
At that moment.
And look at me now.
At that moment,
Ooh,
he was
Just as strong as ever now.
He was happy.
I'm stronger than a
You know what I'm
bitch.
saying? It was, you know what I'm saying? It was a moment in his life that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
know, like getting to be around him for some life moments.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. Just
Yeah.
like, you know, falling asleep at his house and then I wake up and your dog is
Oh no, on
fucking-
your birthday.
Your dog is
Wait,
fucking cuddling me.
Yeah. He can't.
I wake up and his
yeah.
dog is like this with me and I'm like, damn.
Yo, him and the dog. Wait, it was his birthday.
I'm like,
And
now-
him and his girl broke up. So we like, yo, come to the crib. My wife
I'm on
cooked
here.
for him and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, nigga, we good.
I feel like I met
Nigga, I
his
came
dog
downstairs,
off
I'm like, yo,
Backpage
him
that
and-
night.
Him and the dog died.
I feel like I met his dog on fucking
But both them niggas woke
Backpage.
up.
I done
when
met
I
his
first
dog on
looked,
Plenty of
I'm like,
Fish.
yo,
I'm over
nigga.
here hugged up with the dog and shit. I'm like, you understand me, don't you? You understand me, you know. It's
And
a
all
fucked
I'm
up how these
sitting there,
bitches be
I'm like,
doing
yo,
us,
I
huh?
hope these
It's fucked
motherfuckers
up.
ain't
You
fucked.
understand me?
I'm sitting there like, I hope they didn't fuck. Because they look real uncomfortable.
The dog caught him in his vulnerable moment.
right.
Hell,
And he got his little paw on me, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
I'm over
yo.
here like, you understand me, don't you?
niggas
You
was
understand what I'm
cuddling
going
up
through.
Oh my God, yo. I give up. I mean,
When I came downstairs, no, nigga, no,
That's
you
what
had
you
to
came
come
up with?
downstairs. No, you had to come downstairs and see what I saw, nigga. When I went to sleep, that wasn't my thought. I'm like, yo, my nigga had a good birthday. And then, I came downstairs. I'm like, oh, my nigga had a different birthday. And I'm like, you know what? I fuck with him so hard that he could tell me
you ain't
what
gonna say
happened.
nothing. I ain't gonna judge you.
I'm over here laid back and rubbing the dollar. It's that lovey-dovey feeling I get when
This
I'm
nigga in
with
there singing
you.
Sweet November by the deal, nigga.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, I feel like we just lost a dog, man.
I begin to take the long way home.
Yeah, nigga. Yeah, I'm like, wow. Yo, this nigga rubbing it down. He's like, where we go? No.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm like, wow, this is different.
Oh my God, yo.
Maybe
that's
we should never
I
cook
just
for this
can't
nigga
stop
again.
loving
ever.
you.
Like never.
I'm like, maybe fuck his birthday
Yeah,
next
yeah,
year, man.
yeah. It's not.
We
his
had a
birth-
whole family meeting about this
His
shit.
birthday is no longer a thing in this family.
Yeah, fuck his birthday.
Yo,
if
that's
this was gonna
hilarious.
happen. We're gonna get a dog every year, nigga.
Oh my God.
He's a man eater.
Oh my God.
He's a man eater.
Oh man.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Now, seriously, what was up with you and the dog, though? We could talk. We're talking
I
now.
was asleep. I didn't know. I just woke up.
I don't know. Y'all niggas look like y'all fell asleep.
I fell asleep.
together.
I fell asleep. You was on one side of the couch. I was way on the other
when you
side.
woke up, where
and
was I?
I woke up. You was gone.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
like,
gone. I was gone. I had
I'm
some
like,
shit
the
to
dog
talk
was
about.
sitting here, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
Listen, love is where you find it. It's cool. Love is where you find it, my nigga.
I mean, who we to judge?
yeah, I'm
I
not
mean,
here to judge you,
Sometimes it comes in forms you don't expect. It is what it is.
but it's love nonetheless. Love isn't love till you giving it away.
I can't. I'm admit I did. I've sang Brandy since that night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You know what? Let's not talk about this no more.
Let's not. Let's definitely
My
transition.
favorite dungarees.
Let's talk about all the other shit that you've worked on besides me.
Yeah, let's just do that. I'm with that. Wherever you want to go, let's go.
No,
Cause that right there was some different stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's reel it on back
let's
in.
talk about your whole career in its
God.
totality.
Oh boy, used to be my homie. Used
Yeah,
to be my ace. All right, come on. Whoo, okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, right. All right, so who else have you worked with? You know what I'm saying? That's memorable that you have worked on. There's been a lot of people.
Yeah, it's been a lot of people. Keith, Uncle Keith, definitely. Which we got to get Uncle Keith on the album.
Yes, sir. He can't wait. I speak
I
to him all
know.
the
I'm about
time,
to say
yeah.
I promised him that, and I feel like every time I see him, I'm like, no, I promise you, we gonna do this.
And he be like, yeah, man. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
You supposed to put me on this song, man. You know, that's Unc right there, man.
You know what I'm saying? I told him, I was like, yeah,
that's
Suze
family
had
right
surgery. He's like, oh no, Suze had surgery. Tell him I said, I
Tell that
feel
nigga
all
I
right.
said, what's up, baby? That's my Keith Sweater person. Oh shit, man.
That's pretty good too.
That's my nigga right there.
But yeah, Keith, Trina, that other guy, Rick Ross.
Okay.
Big Ross too. Big Rick, not Lil.
Not
Rick.
Lil Rick.
Not
Not
Lil
Lil
Rick.
Ricky.
No, not the one that's on the record with the
Which reminds me, I got the best Keith Sweat story ever.
Let's do it.
you.
Yeah, I bet you mine is better than yours. Okay, so
Let's
dig
compare.
if you will the picture.
Let's go.
It's New Year's Day of
set the
2000. Hold on, it's New Year's Day of 2006, right? So I'm high and drunk as a motherfucker because New Year's Eve just happened. So I call myself cooking some shit. So as I'm cooking, I'm calling Keith because I got to tell him something. Well, the kitchen caught on fire. And his phone picked up. So his voicemail picks up. So he hears me trying to put out this fire. And there's nobody there but me. I'm cursing out the fire. I'm fighting the fire. So about 6 hours later, he's like, hey, boy, I just got your message. You all right? I'm like, nigga, my whole fucking kitchen caught on fire. And I'm in here trying to figure out how to. He was like, you all right, baby? I'm like, nigga, yeah, my bad. So yeah, Keith was like, yo, it sounded like you was dying. I'm like, nigga, I was about to, nigga. I set the whole kitchen on fire on Keith Sweat voicemail.
Damn.
And I hope he don't still have that voicemail.
He does. I'm sure he
He's
does.
got. He
do,
definitely
right?
has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
He saved
legit.
that. He
definitely
saved that.
has.
That's gonna be on TikTok or something.
Yeah, well, I love my nigga.
But
So,
yeah, Jennifer Lopez, some of everybody. I work with some of everybody. Hey Michelle, just some of everybody. Oh, Lucky Day, yeah, some of everybody.
yeah,
He's dope.
Yeah,
He's dope.
Yeah, fuck with it.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wrote
Dave.
2 songs for the new album.
Oh, did he? Lucky
he's on
Day's
two.
dope.
Yeah, no, that's my dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of him. I mean, we haven't talked in a little bit, but I'm still very proud of him because I know where he comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, he was probably next to Blanco, the only other real songwriter that would sleep in the studio with me
right.
and just
I
write
slept in the
songs.
studio, but it's cool.
He
Nah,
fell
keep
asleep-
going.
he fell
Keep
asleep in the
going.
studio.
Keep going. It's cool.
Fell
I get it.
asleep in the studio.
You think them niggas purposely went to sleep in the studio?
I can see where you're going with that.
That's
I
a
can
fair
see-
question.
I
That's
can see where you're going with
That's
that.
a fair question.
It's cool.
I can see where you're going with that.
Nah, it's cool.
The niggas come to the
Continue.
studio in their bed with
Yeah,
pajamas.
nigga came in his pajamas. He
At
had
the
no
time,
footy
we was- at
pajamas.
the
Nigga, I
time-
had footy pajamas when I came.
With a
At
box
the
of
time,
Cheerios.
we was
I
grinding.
ain't had no
Like,
shit.
Yeah,
Nigga,
Cheerios.
I had some footy pajamas and a fucked up pillow.
yeah, no. At the
Made out
time,
of
we was
stray
grinding
bird
together.
feathers.
Like it was the grind. You know what I'm saying? Like we both was grinding together, and that's what made it so to me amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we was grinding together. You know. And you know, but yeah, for me, it's been a long career of just a lot of people that I just been like happy to have worked with. You know, like I just feel like I've been so happy to work with. You know,
Who's been the most challenging person for you to work with? Not
say
in a bad way, but just challenging maybe from an aspect of it's difficult for y'all to come together, or just who's been the most of a challenge to maybe extract the stuff out of you were looking for or whatever.
Don't say no bullshit either.
I really can't think of anybody. Like the only person I can think of that's not necessarily hard to work with, but you got to be prepared to work with, would be like Raheem Devon, because he's a perfectionist.
Okay.
Like he's a straight perfectionist. Like Raheem is the closest to like James Brown I've ever worked with.
Okay.
Raheem is very detail oriented, but I learned a lot in working with him. Like I've learned a lot in working with him
Shout out Raheem. That's the homie right there.
because of how he's helped me become a better vocal producer.
Okay.
He really has.
Okay.
But let me, like I said, just in terms of working here, Raheem, Roz really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you worked with a producer that was challenging to work with?
Oh hell yeah. Nate from Boyz II Men.
Really?
Oh shit yeah.
What did he produce for you?
Think of You. That's Boyz II Men singing the backgrounds on my song Think of You.
Wow.
Yeah, Nate wrote it, produced it, and Boyz II Men is singing the backgrounds. Now if you listen to it again, you'll hear that it's Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
But he wanted every single syllable to be. I'm like, nigga, the feeling is there. He's like, no, you have to. And like that shit. That was just his way, and I wasn't used to that.
Okay. Did you conform to it, or did you...
I had no choice.
Okay.
I mean, he was in charge.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, Case. You get signed to Def Jam, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are getting ready to put out your project. We all know that back in those days, they made a lot of the artistic decisions for people.
You said
Especially on the first album.
artistic.
Artistic.
Same shit as Spanish.
Yeah. How was your mood and how was your acceptance to working with who they told you to work with from a production standpoint? Because I know
On that first album?
yeah, just back in the day where you didn't have a lot of say so. Now you can work with who you want to, but
Yeah.
at that point it wasn't like that.
Well, it was different because you got to remember I was signed to a production company.
Okay.
Who was signed to Def Jam.
So
I
I
had
don't
to,
think people know that. Explain that to them.
Yeah, well, what happened was that I was signed to this person, and they were signed to Def Jam, and I was signed to that person. And so if I have an idea, it has to not only get through the people I'm signed to, but then they have to get it through Def Jam, and that's what made that's to this day why I hate my first album.
Really?
With a passion.
So you listen to it, and you have memories of
I
stuff.
don't listen to it.
Okay.
I hate that shit.
Okay.
It was good ideas, but it had to go through so many channels that it wasn't me.
Okay.
Is how I feel.
Okay.
I didn't get to be me until my second album.
Really?
That's when I was able to. When it was like, just do what the fuck you want. And
But what did it take to get to that point? Was it the success of the first album?
No, it took a loophole in my contract.
Okay, explain.
Well, somebody forgot to sign the licensing agreement, and it was like, oh, we can we can sue Def Jam and get this much money, or you can just get out of that contract and go straight to Def Jam, and that's what happened. So I went straight to Def Jam.
Really?
And
Okay.
Def Jam just said, okay, just do what you want.
Right.
And personal conversation was
And
what I
there
wanted
it
to
is.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's information people probably didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
because there's so much red tape involved in those dynamics, especially at that point.
Yeah, especially when you first starting out, because who the fuck are you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it. Ain't nobody trying to listen to you.
Right. Right. And you're gonna do it the way we think is gonna make the label successful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And plus, nobody has no faith in you at that point.
did it to
Why would
Prince.
they? Yeah. Why
Right.
would
They
they?
did it to Prince.
They did it to Prince. If they did it to Prince, they damn sure gonna do it to
Right.
Case.
Right. Fair enough.
But
Fair
which
enough.
is to me the problem that you have now, even with new artists, because people they create great bodies of work independently or starting out, they start creating some great bodies of work, and then somebody at the label hears them and they start thinking, it's like, all right, that'd be
Yeah.
dope, but if I put them in with this person,
Yeah.
they're gonna do this, and I put them in over here with this person, and it's like, why can't you just like the artist for what made you like them?
For what they're coming to the table with.
Yeah.
That's interesting too, because actually that happened to you towards the end of the Def Jam era for you, right? Where they were trying to put you with different artists, and you were like, no, that's not the way. Did that ever happen to you? Because I remember you and I having a conversation before about they were trying to tag you with certain people that were coming out at that time.
Well, they're always gonna do that, and that there's nothing you can do about that because the media will do that.
Oh.
So that shit, I never gave no fuck about that.
Okay.
Because in my mind, and this is probably gonna sound bad, I always felt like I'm better than the rest of y'all niggas.
You're supposed
anyway.
to think that.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
competitive sport. You
Yeah,
both-
yeah. It's like football.
Yeah.
Like,
If you don't think you're the best, you shouldn't be playing.
yeah,
Like,
you
that's-
shouldn't be
Exactly.
playing.
Exactly.
And that was my thing. So that's something that's gonna happen from a label standpoint. If there's other artists on the label like that, it's gonna come from the media. It's gonna come from fans. That's just always gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like there's always the next Jordan, like we was talking about.
Right. From a production standpoint, is it similar? Because I know that producers, correct us if I'm wrong, producers can kind of work with whoever they want. You never like necessarily obligated to only work with these artists unless you're signed to like Dr. Dre or something like that, right? But how's the difference with that? Because creatively speaking, you still got to mesh with the artists that you producing for.
Yeah, it can be tough, even like especially in this environment now, because how can I say it? You get to a point where you wanna do what you wanna do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you're locked into a box that you didn't want to be inside of,
Right.
Because you're chasing a check, you're chasing your own survival, and I think it's gotten to the point now where, you have those moments when you think like like I think the most honest thing I can say is the game needed to collapse, and I think you're starting to see that.
Yeah.
Because in black music, it needs to collapse. Like honest to God, it needs to fall.
You got to push
it
the
needs,
reset
it needs to
button
fail.
sometimes, yeah.
And that's what's happening, because like I think me and Bone Crusher was having this conversation about 2 years ago. We were in the studio and he was like,
John.
yeah, we were like, trap music has been around too long. Like, you know how you have trends, maybe 2 years, something like that, and then something else comes along and nothing else has come along.
Because everybody started copying.
Yeah.
Aesthetic.
Everybody's
We've gotten
copying
out
each
of the stage of taking shit to the next level, and we've fallen into the stage of copying so we can get money.
Because people are so scared to push, they're scared to push the envelope on all levels.
Right.
Like, again, think about it as somebody who curates music. How many record men do you still see in the business? Like, how many A&Rs do you see that's going to come to the table and put their whole career on the line for an artist or for a
There
record?
are no record men anymore.
There's
no more record men.
Yeah, they're just chasing. They're like, oh, this record right here, we have this artist who has this following right here. I think if we
They
we
trying to
mess
keep
with
their
this,
job.
yeah, we mess with this record can do something for us. And then they 360 the artist, and then they just pretty much make money off of them. But there's no record men. You know what I'm saying?
There's no Clive Davis. There's no Barry Gordy.
Right.
And the
There's
ones that
no,
are attached
yeah.
to the
Barry Hankersham.
Lil Silas.
Yeah.
Ain't none of that. It's none of that.
like the ones who are attached to a big artist still win. Like whoever is attached to Bruno Mars is going to always win
No
because
matter
Bruno's
what.
going to deliver.
Right.
Yeah. But is there another Bruno out there?
Good question. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do they have the ear to find another Bruno? Because think about it right now. Could you really hear another Bruno right now? Could you hear Bruno right now? If you were going somewhere to a concert or something like that, or to a showcase, would you be able to hear a Bruno?
Personally, I would.
I mean, I would, but
Yeah. But a lot of people, that's an interesting question too.
A lot of people
because
don't know the difference.
the problem is that in black music, the problem with black music is the people who are the storytellers and the people who are the gatekeepers don't have the life experience to understand what can really move the masses. Like right now, I'm sorry, I say it. Like, I don't give a fuck about a 19-year-old songwriter. You ain't been through life yet. You ain't had your heart broken. Nothing. How can you really write a song about love? You can write some club stuff, make something catchy.
That's why every song is about the strip club. I'm like, y'all niggas doing something else besides going to the strip club.
Right.
Yeah, like every song is like, you know what I'm saying? We in the club, like,
And now
we
we
doing
having a
this,
threesome.
like,
What's the next song? Nigga?
Right.
yeah, what's the next song?
Nobody ain't got no feelings? Somebody got some feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care how many perks you take, you got some feelings.
Or some
on
real
your ass.
experiences to talk
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Yeah. It becomes a cold experience. And then all the way down, we've killed off how we make money. Because
Which is a great segue. I want to go there now. I want to get into the business aspect of a person in a production seat versus an artist seat. People that listen to music, that intake music, that use it for entertainment, which is anybody listening right now, that's not in the industry, has no real idea as to how a producer is compensated versus how an artist is compensated. Break that down to people who don't know, because I will tell you this. From having real, like, just normal conversations with like audience members and people that are P1 listeners and things like that, what people think is that the artists make a whole bunch of money and the producer,
royalties.
right? But that's what people think, and they think that, you know, the producers kind of grind, and then if the record pops off big, then they get paid. But how does it really work?
for the most part, you know, you live kind of check to check because you're going to get people buying beats all over the place. But in reality, how can I say it? We're in a space where, as producers, you know, you have to control the product. You have to make sure you don't get too stupid with it, and now you have to have a forward vision for where that record could be exploited outside of just being on the radio or streaming, and that's where you see a lot of records fail. Because I mean, think about it. Even right now, records that you might play on the radio or that you hear on the radio, how many of those records do you hear in TV and film? We talk about Chris. How many Chris Brown records do we hear in TV and film?
Yeah, none.
Because look at the credits.
Right.
You got 20, 30 people on the credits
Involved in one record.
You can't clear that record
now
in
you gotta
24
pay
hours.
Do all
everybody.
the people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't
okay.
clear that record in 24 hours.
Okay.
So we've killed ourselves in black music trying to hustle.
Play that shit in 24 days.
Okay, trying to hustle.
And that's pretty much any bigger record is gonna have multiple hands.
Not
in it.
necessarily.
But no,
Not
no.
necessarily.
Think about it. Bruno Mars record ain't got all them people on the record.
Okay.
He's going in with his crew. That's it. You might have, just the crew.
They
That's
put
it.
one name on that bitch.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they figure that shit out in the back room.
Yeah, that's it. It's not like that. So as a producer, people are still romanticizing the 90s and the era in which people made money off of mechanical royalties or album sales. So in people's minds, they still want that back, while having a section of the masses who don't view what we do as art. So to people now, they like, yo, you tell them you got an album coming out, they're like, okay, cool, I added it to my Apple playlist. It's like, well, you didn't play it. So if you don't play it, it doesn't exist. It don't exist unless you playing it on your phone.
Okay.
You didn't buy it. I still buy all the records, all the songs I got on my phone. I buy.
Okay.
I got therapy on my phone. Like I buy my own stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know how hard it is for an artist to put their art out there, and I know what it's like for a producer and as a creative to put your heart into what you're doing, just for somebody to rub shoulders and be like, oh yeah, me too.
Right.
Like that pisses me off. Like if I go somewhere and I'm like, I produce, and they, oh, my cousin produced. No, fuck your cousin.
Fuck him.
Fuck your cousin. Your cousin don't do shit.
Okay.
Your cousin is not me. You know what I'm saying? But in their mind, he's just like you. No, he's not. He's not like me.
Right.
So to make money in this business now, the hard part is us as producers. We're the new labels. So we're
okay.
the ones that are developing the artist, developing the sound, developing the project for 2 or 3 years, and then the label's just gonna be like, okay, cool, thanks.
They just take the
Let
product
me
as
see
it
the
is.
Yeah, they look at the views and then they want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
But
what
how
I'm
does
saying?
how does that equate to? How does all that equate to?
The newer, okay, so what's getting better is the newer artists, when they send out production agreements, they're sending it out with your sound exchange, so they're sharing the digital royalties.
Okay.
Some of them, in the past, some didn't. You know what I'm saying? So they weren't sharing in that. So that helps us out. Some people, I'm not gonna lie. Well, you know what? Yeah, Seuss. Yeah. Some people are doing it the Nashville way. They have a producer, and then they just paying the producer a flat fee.
Okay. So just
Fuck the ride.
I know somebody. He paying the producers like $15,000. He in and out. He own all the royalties. You know what I'm saying? You get your credits.
I give you $3-4, nigga. What's happening?
You know what I'm saying?
What's up?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just. You know, the headache comes when it blow up, and then everybody like, man, I only made 15, and I just reckon I sold 2 million copies, and that
Nigga, I got $173 in this bitch.
You know,
nigga.
that they get
Yeah.
smart, and they like, I ain't sharing in that, and now the artist mad, 'cause they like, well, you ain't sharing my stuff on social media, letting everybody know we work, and you like, well, I ain't making no money off of it
Yeah,
outside
I
what I
feel
made.
you.
I'm not helping you.
okay.
I just seen you at the dealership.
It's okay. I'm on a martyr. You roll
Yeah,
past
yeah,
me
yeah.
in the drop
I'm
top.
still living with my fucking mom's, B.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's just good to know, the way a producer makes their living, right? Because
I think some of the younger ones now, they're also marketing themselves as artists, which helps them
True.
get a more bigger share of the royalties, which is cool. But again, you still got to go through them gatekeepers. You still got to get a pub deal and everything else. So it don't matter what you do, which that's why you see a lot of them lashing out because
They
they
got
signed
to
a
do a
pub
gang
deal.
of shit to get that deal. Nowadays,
Yeah.
we didn't have to do a gang of shit back then.
Yeah, like me. I mean, I'm still locked in a 2-song deal with Ultra, but I don't owe them a lot to where I can't buy myself out or move on. You know what I'm saying? If another publisher wanted to buy me out.
Okay.
I had an offer on the table initially. Like somebody was offering me $1 million to sign, but it was like a 14-song deal. I'm like, I didn't
Only
never.
$12.
You know what I'm saying? It's-
Question too, Jay.
So now-
as far as the producers go,
I can't get $12.
some producers that even if they get paid out early, sometimes you take those and you charge him $1,500, so you can charge that guy $15,000.
Yep.
So if your songs get requested enough, because I remember when Heatmaker was doing beats for $100.
Okay.
Or just giving away tracks. So now when people hit me, now they requesting you. And now I could say, that's why Timberland was like, yo, I used to get 200,000 for beats. So now I only work with artists I feel like working with.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Because because the game has changed.
Yeah.
So labels are not paying you 200,000.
Right.
Yeah, the label's not going in no more and doing a song deal with me. Like the label ain't like, okay, you got a hot
They know
hand.
another nigga's gonna do it for $200.
Yeah, they not looking at me like, okay, I got a hot hand. I'm gonna call Seuss, yo, over at Def Jam, yo, can we go ahead and pay for 10 songs out of Trav? And then Atlantic is like, let me go and pay for 10 songs out of Trav. So now I'm locked into all the buildings. Y'all done bought 10 songs each from me. We paid, so I got to turn in 10 over here, 10 over here. They ain't doing that no more.
Artists, even with Dre,
It's a different game.
It's a different, like they'll go to the label themselves. So they'll go to the Interscope and they'll say, give me 20 million. You know what I mean?
And they gonna come up off it.
now I got a bunch of beats. These joints over here, they'll tell you, pick a little something out of there. You can have.
Nigga, I went to label one time, was like, give me 20 million. Security came and escorted me out. But I shot my shot,
But
nigga.
if you want these,
I shot my shot.
Budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want any of these, because I know this is number one.
Yeah.
I want half your budget for that. So, and that's a whole.
Meanwhile, they don't know that those is number one.
Yeah, right. You don't have labels. Don't have budgets. They budget, and you spoke on it earlier when you was like back in the days. The hot song came from the hot artist.
Yeah.
Now the game has changed. You got Trinidad James that had a hot song.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that make him a hot artist.
Right.
He's just hot right now.
Right.
Mims had a hot song.
God damn it.
I'm
this
sorry.
Is why I'm hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
He told you this is why I'm hot.
Yeah.
That song was bigger than him.
Yeah.
Like Mims can walk in this room right now, and if you never met, you wouldn't even know who he was.
Yep.
But play the record, they'd be like, oh.
Yeah. Shout out my dog Mims,
So
man. That's
it
my
was
guy.
different then because the case had.
Man, I know a he.
grind. You know what I mean? Dave Hollister had the grind. Like
Yeah.
they walked to the studio from.
Nigga, we walked from
Yeah.
Chungking, which is in Chinatown, on Canal Street. One night, we recorded all night and walked from Chungking on Canal Street to 57th Street to MCA on no sleep.
Damn.
And still didn't get no record deal, but we didn't get no fuck because that's how much we believed in us and what we was doing. And anybody who don't know, put that in your Google Maps and see how long that is on foot after you ain't been asleep all night and you've been singing all night.
Yeah, so it's different. It's
MCA
definitely
was on
different.
57th from Broadway. Well, from Canal Street to 57th from Broadway after singing all night. We
And
left Canal Street at 6 in the morning.
And like he said, these little kids, they want to taste the business so much, they'll undercut. So I might go to a label and they be like, what do we need to pay for this song? And now I'm like 5,000. And this little kid's like,
I can make
I'll
it
take
over for
$100.
two.
Matter of fact, I'll just
Yeah.
give it to you. They be like, I just need some Jordan money. So now it's like,
So they saturated the whole situation.
and they don't know their
diminished the
business
value.
enough to know that we still have power.
Yeah.
And what they don't realize is that and Timbaland said this too. He said that the producers have devalued because he was like, yo, I used to get 500,000, but y'all niggas giving your shit away for $200. Now, why would anybody pay you anything
Yeah.
more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when producers used to get money like that.
Yeah, like it's crazy
I
how the
remember
money
that.
gets spent. Like artists will get signed for $2 million, but then a Chris Brown budget is like, $1 million or $2 million. They'll spend that money on Chris, but then the average other little artist, 100,000. Let's say the 100,000. So you got to try to figure out how to make your album with 100,000. Hopefully.
There was a time an artist, a producer like Travis would get $10,000 to cut my lights on in the studio.
Man, I remember.
It cost me $10,000 to cut these lights on.
Yeah, I remember my standard fee was like $12.5. I was like $12.5 for a little while.
Really?
Yeah, I was
I didn't
$12.5.
make nothing yet.
The internet is what fucked that up. The
Yeah.
internet fucked all that up.
Yeah, now you got some artists, their whole budget is $12.5. You know what I'm saying? Sad.
Dear white Jesus, don't ever let me get to that
Okay,
point.
sweet baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Like real talk, like it's crazy. It's crazy
Yeah.
when you see it. Yeah. Like,
Well, this has been an enlightening conversation because I think that we touched on a lot of things that people might have wondered about, but never really known.
You think
you
you
know,
know.
and things have changed. I mean, we've watched the game progress or regress, depending on how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
But we've watched it change, shall we say?
I hear people say that it's an amazing time in the business, but I'm still like,
It's not.
knowing what I know,
It's not.
I'm like, what? How is it amazing?
Right.
Because we were all eating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We were all eating, and even when you got done dirty, you ate.
You still ate, right?
Yeah. You were like, oh, I made $5 million. I was supposed to make $7 million. He stole some of my money.
Yeah, but
But you made $5 million.
yeah.
Now you like, this son of a bitch that made $5 million and gave me $1,300. You selfish
Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah.
James Brown went through the same shit. It's all right. If James Brown went through it, I can go through it.
Hey, hey. I like Barry White broke it
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Barry White broke it down. You got
So,
it.
hey,
that's
so
right.
as we get out of here, Travis, and in case the last 3 albums y'all have done together.
Wow,
give
we
us,
really brought the house down.
give us.
What the fuck was that, B?
Wow.
What was that?
I don't know, but
the little
something
padding
just
fell
fell
down
from-
beside you over your shoulder.
Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
This
Just
is
let it happen.
I saw that in the porno one time, and they just kept going.
Yeah,
gotta
well,
keep
that's
filming.
what we're doing. Give us a quick synopsis of the upcoming project, like in a sentence or less. Give us a summary of this. This upcoming. I like it.
You
Okay.
next.
All right. It's a relationship.
Oh.
From start to finish.
Start to finish, it's a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have a title yet?
Yeah, it's gonna be called Love Jones Volume 2.
What?
Word.
Yes, sir.
I like it. 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 All right.
So it's not case 25.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Nah,
we're
nah,
not doing
nah,
that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Travis Cherry, producer
Remember we did
extraordinaire.
Love Jones. Remember we doing Love Jones Volume
felt
2.
good too. Love Jones felt good.
Love Jones Volume 2 gonna feel
I like
even
it.
better
I
and
like it.
sometimes worse.
We need to find our Nina then.
Can you dig it?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need our Nina. Yeah, we need a Nina.
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
We need to find your Nina for all the visuals.
We need a Oh Johnny girl.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh Johnny.
On that note, listen, Travis Cherry,
Well,
thank you
you
for coming
know
in,
my
man.
name is Ray, cause I believe.
So we need a girl 6. Hi there.
No, we need an old Johnny girl.
Okay.
Well, it's okay.
They'll
We
do this
need-
all
we
night.
need- We need
Listen,
an old Johnny girl.
thank you for joining the Kickback Podcast. Hopefully you got great information. We will see you next Wednesday. That's Case.
I love y'all,
I'm Jarard J.
I'm
Thank you
that
to Travis
guy.
Cherry for coming in. Y'all be cool.
and we got some shit for y'all.
Hello.
And I need a cigarette.